What's good, everybody? It's Batman, and we're over here going to be doing a Naruto character tier list. Cannot speak, okay? And we have done this before. Basically, I had two parts of this, and you guys have already seen those as it is. This is going to be the third part for concluding this whole tier list. It's basically from beginning all the way to the end of Naruto Shippuden. I believe also it's Boruto characters. And I do have a certain guest in here. Someone I've been chilling with, and another member named Loke as well. But introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Kenneth J. Rock. I'm here to help be a part of this list.
Alrighty. And I'll make sure to put his YouTube down in the description down below. Because little did I know Ken actually has a YouTube himself, and I never even knew about, and I actually saw it at a certain point because he posted a video. So you guys can check him out. You can watch his stuff, whatever. He'll probably start eventually doing things on his own channel and whatnot. But he's slowly but surely doing his own thing, and you guys can check him out at the same time. And we also have a new addition. Somebody that is late, pulling a fucking Obito and Kakashi right now. No, you're good. I'm talking about Loke. Now, you're excused. It's your first time today.
And what are we talking about?
We're about to start reacting to his tier list. We're about to get into that, do the third part.
Ken's tier list?
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, that's good. I wanted to mention it so we don't forget again, so we can actually finish it.
No, we're doing it now. So what we left off was with Edo Kimamaru. So we're gonna start from here. We already did all the bottom, and those videos, you guys have already seen up to this point. So we're back where we started off, and we're gonna start here. And let's get into it. So we have Edo Kimamaru. And then next up we have Hashram and Tobirama. So, okay. So here's where this gets interesting for me. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it was shown in the manga, but I believe in the anime, this man was able to react to KCM1 Naruto. And kind of fight him a bit. Was I wrong in that?
No. You're correct.
And the fact that he could even remotely react and kind of fight and not just get speed blitzed, it's like there's two ways of understanding it. It's either, for one, Naruto wasn't using his full speed, you know what I mean, like whenever he teleports, because he does have to do a certain amount of chakra to do that, and that's why he's reacting. Or two, like fucking he was just able to react, whatever, yada yada, and that's it. Either way, it's still remotely impressive because it's Naruto in KCM form, you know what I mean? So, and I believe it was a shadow clone too. I don't think it was the original. So yeah. Even though it is a shadow clone, like, okay, yeah, you can, I can let, have some people maybe downplay it a bit more, but one thing to keep in mind, you guys gotta understand, is Naruto's fucking KCM shadow clone that also fought against the Third Raikage, was giving him a run for his money and all that, and this man doesn't even have a lightning cloak, and he's kind of reacting and doing his thing, so it's interesting, you know what I mean? It is interesting. It kind of gives you a grasp of, of his true potential of what he would have been if he was, healthy and without a sickness and everything. But it's interesting to think about. I'm not saying he's necessarily KCM1 level, but the fact that he wasn't just immediately getting dogged on was pretty impressive, regardless if you think Naruto is using his teleportation speed or just normal speed with KCM1. Because there is two types of speed.
That's also true with Chio, but I don't think that necessarily helps put up her speed. I think it was just happenstance that allowed her to fight on those parts.
Yeah. So you guys can take it as it is, but with that being said, if it came to him having to fight, I'll talk about him with below first. Like, this Kimamaru fighting against Three Tails Naruto, do you think he's taking attacks from this man? Or do you think he's getting washed up?
I think his Iron Bone will be able to help him take most of the hits, since that one can't really use the Bijujama. If that one could use the Bijujama, it'd be a different story, but without that, I think he could take the hits with the Iron Bone. And then with something like the Bracken Dance, he could probably get the W.
Yeah, that's fair. One thing I will say is, even if if he doesn't tank it or not, it doesn't even matter because he's an Edo. And when Naruto's in this state, the Nine Tails doesn't use sealing abilities. He just uses raw destructive power. So even if this Naruto was just fucking his shit up, you know what I mean? Like, he's just going to keep coming back and he's just going to keep going. And eventually, you know what I mean? Like, around this point at the very least, the Nine Tails power is actually fucking Naruto to where it's severely hurting him and everything. And I'm pretty sure if the fight progressed long enough, then Naruto would either be fucked or die, or maybe the Nine Tails power would just have to retract his power because, you know, he's not really trying to kill Naruto either. That's kind of said throughout the whole fucking show. But yeah, so I don't know. That's fine. Sasuke should put it in base. So these two would actually go, which I believe there is an interesting statement between these two where, like, I think it was said from Jugo or Sugetsu, where they were like actually asking, like, if those two seem to fight, I wonder who would have been stronger, you know? I think there's a reference like that, but
yeah, that was for the one that has sort of Orochimaru.
Yeah. Okay, that was when they were just kids though, not in Shippuden. I didn't know if that
was in Shippuden, but that's after he had absorbed Orochimaru. That's when the statement was made.
Gotcha. So there's kind of that statement to, you know, think about if you guys want to, but I don't know. I feel like if they fought, I'm not saying it's out of this world for him to know any sealing jutsu, but no offense, but he's never shown any high tier sealing jutsu.
No, but he could put him into a genjutsu that could just last for as long as he needed to, and then just...
Yeah, true, but fucking, he could just break out of it though, you know? Like even if like Sasuke puts him in genjutsu and let's say that creates an opening and allows him to fuck him up, then he'll just repair himself. And, you know, remember, pain does snap you out of genjutsu. That's something to remember. You either have to release it with your chakra, or you have to, you know, inflict pain on yourself to break out. So, or a visual prowess to release it, like what Sasuke and Itachi did when they were fighting against Kabuto. That's kind of the only way you're really getting out of genjutsu, if I'm being honest with you. But I don't know. Like, it's interesting because, like, I feel like this Kimmaru would probably just outlast him. And then not only that, if you're also were to make arguments like this Kimmaru is like around KCM 1 level, or at least, you know, able to perform decently, then this guy kind of gets shitted on. That's just me, but I don't know. What do you think of that, Loke? If they actually fought, like, who's taking it?
Kibimaru and Sasuke?
Yeah. Remember, this Kimmaru would have all curse mark too, so.
Yeah.
And then it's just base, so if he goes curse mark, I'm pretty sure he's losing, right? and just in base, he was reacting to KCM1. Huh?
How would he dodge Amaterasu?
He doesn't have it yet.
Well, yeah, this one doesn't have it yet. It's just the heavy Sasuke. The one that has a Amaterasu, I think he's more higher. Yeah, he's up here, right here.
Yeah.
So.
But he doesn't have ceiling either. He doesn't have ceiling either. So what do we?
Yeah, I don't think he has any ceiling. So it's like he just get out. Like, even if you were to argue he could somehow scale over this Kimmaru, he just gets outlasted and loses, right?
the only.
Oh no, because
the only.
If he has superior,
is the fucking ceiling jutsu is when he has the Rinnegan and he has Chibaku Tensei. So that's when he gets a ceiling jutsu. So can I talk? Sorry about that.
Go ahead, Ken. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, if he has superior, if you take what Tetsu said in the cave against Itachi and say that Sasuke has superior genjutsu to Itachi, you could say he just put Kabuto in Kimaru in a genjutsu that just makes him just as willing like soldier.
Yeah, if you were to like argue that Kimmaru couldn't break out of it for some reason, I guess, but like, I'll be honest, anything really taken, like any type of scaling or any statements even that were even really remotely made between the interaction between Sasuke and Itachi fighting is really weird to like use to even scale any characters, because that whole fucking fight, Itachi's is literally pulling a whole act. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to make it believe as if, he's just playing around. He's holding back. Like, he's making Sasuke believe that Sasuke is actually pressuring him, or, you know, or giving him a fight. Like, it's blatantly stated over and over. Even Obito backs that up eventually and says, yeah, if Itachi wanted you dead, you'd be dead. You know? Like, and then you have the point where fucking Like, I'm sorry, bro, but like, mind you, that's sick. You know what I mean? Crippled deathbed Itachi, also that is blind. Like, and he's over here contending with this fucking Sasuke with CM1 and CM2 and just you know what I mean, just winging it. Like, that's a pretty big fucking deal, and that's crazy. And the fact that this Sasuke is still prime healthy Sasuke, even with CM1 and CM2, which should enhance all his abilities, Genjutsu, you name it, because it's basically another variant of Sage Mode, couldn't even fucking beat Itachi with Genjutsu and at his own game. Like, that's just crazy to me. That's just me, though. So, I don't know, like I'm not saying his Genjutsu is not crazy or strong, because he was able to suppress, like, a little bit of, of Kuruma's chakra in the beginning as well. Like, at the end of the day, he's an Uchiha, he has the Sharingan, I'm not saying he but, like, it's like, how far do you really think that goes? And it's kind of hard to quantify it or even scale it when he doesn't even have that much Genjutsu shown. There's only with Itachi, but Itachi's kind of just fucking with him. And then, two...
He was able to reverse Orochimaru's body switching jutsu with the Genjutsu.
Yeah, he did that.
So I
thought that was just his willpower, though. Was that actually Genjutsu? I thought it was willpower. I don't remember that.
That's Genjutsu.
Oh, okay. But fucking, like, yeah, so you have that, but then again, like, Orochimaru at that point is, like, fucking,
Yeah, he's almost dead.
Yeah, he's almost dead. Like, he's very weakened. Like, even like, I forgot who it was saying it, but it was either Sasuke or someone else saying that the only reason why he was even able to kill Orochimaru at that point.
Sasuke.
Oh, yeah, and that's, and Sasuke, he doesn't lie about shit, too,
Well, I think the reason for that isn't because the Genjutsu would have been weaker. I think it's because Orochimaru would have been able to fight him physically off better. Mm-hmm. And then by that point, Sasuke's chakra reserves would have been a lot lower, so his Genjutsu would have been weaker. Yeah. So it's not necessarily that his Orochimaru's Genjutsu resistance would have been stronger, but just Sasuke's ability to use Genjutsu would have been lower.
Well, one thing we can at least imply is, obviously characters, this is just a given. Anyone that actually really thinks it's not true, I don't know even what to say with those type of people, but characters obviously over time do grow stronger. You know what I mean? They train, if they train. Yeah, if they train and whatnot, and especially if there's proof for that. And for most of the characters that are in Naruto that are still going out on missions and, have their students, it makes no fucking sense for them to still not be training and developing, etc. And overall, like, that's blatantly even shown when you have the time skip as well. So it's not, out of this world for people to get stronger over time. So with that put into consideration, I was going to say that, remember, Itachi was over here bullying Orochimaru with just normal Tomo Sharingan Genjutsu and immediately ended the fight and beat him. But then if you give Orochimaru, like, the time skip with, his power increasing, training, yada yada, you could maybe argue that he could probably be able to break out of a Genjutsu from Sasuke or Itachi, but then again, you could just argue otherwise and still say Sasuke and Itachi's Genjutsu would still fuck him up and create a W, So either way, however you want to take it, it is what it is, but we're kind of getting a little bit off track.
There's more to that. Like, imagine he puts him into the Genjutsu and he's an Edo. What does he do?
Exactly.
If he immobilizes him, he cuts him, let's say, and what does that do? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It does nothing.
Well, he doesn't need to immobilize him again. Like I said, he can just make him a soldier.
Yeah, just control him.
Yeah.
Basically, what Ken's argument is if he does a strong enough Genjutsu and to the point where Kimmaru can't break out of it, to where now he's just there and that's it. Kind of similar to the feat that Obito did with the Jinchuriki, but then again, that's Obito.
Yeah,
so
that's Obito. Yeah. There's no way he has
but Kimmaru isn't as strong as the third Mizukage, and I don't know. You'd have to argue that there's a massive difference between what the difference between Obito and the Mizukage is and what Sasuke and Kimmaru is with an MS.
No, I just don't think Sasuke possesses such Genjutsu strong enough to really return somewhat.
Now, if we're really thinking about it, because we can at least for sure know for a fact that 5 Kage Summit Sasuke was getting way stronger than Heavy Sasuke, with Susanoo, Mangekyo, you name it, and that man placed Danzo. It was either a regular Sharingan Tomo Genjutsu or a Mangekyo Genjutsu, and Danzo was able to break out of it.
It was Mangekyo.
So
but Danzo had like 12 Sharingan, dude.
Well, yeah, but all because you have Sharingan doesn't mean shit. I mean, first off, he's not an Uchiha. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that was really helping him remotely at all was the Zetsu cells and shit, because he had a bunch of Hosh cells, like, on half of his body. But, you know, that's about it. You know what I mean? Like look at Kakashi and Itachi as a prime example. Like, that didn't matter, you know? Itachi still was able to put him in Tsukiyomi. And arguably, you could even imply that if Itachi wanted to immediately put him in Tsukiyomi, he would have done it, because he did it to Sasuke, who is an Uchiha.
Because Sasuke had him in a Genjutsu for towards the end of the fight for a good while, and he was able to trick him into thinking he had his an eye open. He didn't even know that was there.
Yeah. Wait, but that was Sasuke being like a goat, though. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing Sasuke's kind of really good at, when to imply Genjutsu in order to give him the edge in a fight. And yeah, for sure. But like when he did it to Danzo at that one moment to try to, I can't remember why he was even doing all that, but I know he did it, and it was like it looked like it was Tsukiyomi, but it wasn't. And he was kind of showing him Itachi and whatnot. Danzo was able to.
Like towards the end of the fight, when he's getting tired of dealing with Izanami, he tricks him into thinking he still has an eye open when he doesn't.
Yeah, no, I know that. And, but I'm just saying. Yeah, but that's more of like a, it's getting really heated type moment. You know what I mean? Everything's getting very, so that's why he basically just didn't realize, and it kind of caught him slipping, which it was a perfect moment to exploit.
He was running out of those fucking eyes.
Like it was very, very stressful type situation for both characters, and Sasuke was just being clutch at that exact moment to do that, which gave him a W for that exact reason. But like when he did it with Danzo, you know what I mean? Like before, Danzo was able to get out of it. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And that's fucking Danzo, an old ass bitch with Hashirama cells. Like, It
was Mangekyo.
And that's even more of a crazy feat too, that it's Mangekyo. So like I don't know, like you could argue, you can make arguments and ways to say that Kimmaru could break out if it came down to it. You know what I mean? But either way, it's not the end of the world. It's whatever. But
that was Mangekyo Sasuke. Like
this is only based Tomo Sasuke. If I had to put my money and they were to fight just base, you know what I mean? And while also Kimmaru has access to CM1 and CM2 while this Sasuke doesn't, I'm giving this to Kimmaru. That's just me though. But what's it called? Then CM1 Sasuke, I think Kimmaru still wins because he has CM2. So that's that. Then you have Karen. Kimmaru wins. Unless she does like her chain shit and she has some type of sealing jutsu, then she can body his ass, but I don't know. And then this Naruto with the Rising Shuriken, yeah, he could probably be able to fuck him up if he gets, lands the hit, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Kimmaru's whole thing is taijutsu in close range, close combat. I think it's going to be tremendously a lot more harder for him to land a hit like he did to Kakasu than to this guy. You know what I mean? Because his bones and shit and all his jutsus.
Also, another thing. What the fuck does Sasuke do if he uses the wave of bones? That big fucking forest of bones.
Oh, yeah.
That he can
he would need CM2 to fly and get out of that. He would have to do CM2.
Yeah.
But
just like Gaara did, with Sand, with Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Then they still almost died, but Kimimaro fucking, his heart collapsed.
Yeah, and then not only that, fucking shit. Kimimaro kind of had like a weird, like I don't even know what was the best example to say, but like he was able to like teleport and go into those bones and just like some type of fucking weird ass like space. I'm not saying it is space time ninjutsu, but similar to that. To where he could just instantly teleport in the bones and shit and appear. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was talking about if he does the forest and he can even teleport.
Yeah.
Bones.
Like Kimmaru's no joke, dude. I feel like he's a very underrated character, but
Edo with no illness.
Yeah, no illness. Basically, almost unlimited chakra. I'm not saying it is unlimited, but it's basically implied that it is. What's it called? Yeah, it's always refreshing. So like unlimited chakra, he could just spam all his crazy ass abilities. CM2. Then give him CM1 and CM2, which gives more of a fucking massive chakra and amp 10 times. Yeah, basically like Sage Mode itself. Like fucking, it's like come on, bro. Like this man would be a monster.
To be fair, he couldn't do those massive attacks until he was CM2.
True.
He can go to
CM2. But you could argue that he could probably be able to do those attacks, especially as an Edo or Prime Alive, You know what I mean? If he had no sickness. Like, even without CM1 or CM2. You could argue.
Perhaps. There's no evidence.
Yeah, I know. But if it was Naruto Rising Shuriken, even if you give Naruto the benefit of the doubt, because he does get better with using his shadow clones to create openings and, you know, do diversions and shit. Okay, even if Naruto was able to land the hit, what the fuck does that do when he just comes back? You know, like, he's still going to regenerate. I know damn well this motherfucker don't know Sealing Jutsu. Minato did, but not him. So, Naruto's losing. It's just that simple. What's it called? And then not only that, like, fucking... Better yet, if Kimamaru does that one bone jutsu, like, he's not dodging that. You know what I mean? Like, he's not dodging that, dude. Like, even if he did, like, his shadow clones to, like, throw himself up in the air or whatever, like, he can just teleport. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He can just teleport through the bones and just kill his ass. So, yeah. Like, that's that.
Like, how would he stay in the air? How would he fucking stay in the air?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. What do you think, Hen? Hey, you can talk whenever, by the way. I don't know what you want me to call you, but you just let me know how you want me to call you, either the first name or last name. But if you want to speak, whatever, you're on mute, by the way. Go for it. Ken, what do you think? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, I know. Just I have nothing to say, so I'm just listening and learning.
Okay, that's fine. What about you, Ken?
Oh, I mean,
Naruto versus Kimamaru? Huh?
I'm sorry, one more time.
What do you think? Naruto versus Kimamaru with Rising Shuriken? Who's taking it?
Well, I mean, I did make the tier list, so.
True. I'm just making sure you didn't change your mind.
No.
Okay, so you do agree that, especially what you placed, that Kimamaru would beat Rising Shuriken Naruto, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're on the same page. Everybody else, yeah, Kimamaru bodies, that's fine. Okay, this, I don't know. Like, my guy, he doesn't have synergy, so he loses. But Kakashi, Kamui might be able to be effective against Kimamaru. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Kakashi can't use it effectively.
Oh, okay, you're saying that's no shotting on basically with this guy?
No, that's him with it all. He just can't use the Kamui effectively, and I think Kimamaru will probably be too slippery for him to hit. And if he misses with Kamui, then he's pretty much sitting gut duck.
Yeah, but he doesn't miss though with Kamui. Like for instance,
he specifically says with Datara while he's trying to chase him that he has to be careful with when he activates it 100% because of Datara's moving around.
Yeah, true. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're talking about a guy that's like, at least in comparison to fucking Kimamaru, like way better at range and speed and you know, staying away from its opponents and whatnot. And this motherfucker...
I don't agree with that. I think Kimamaru is way more slippery than Datara, especially considering that he was able to go hand-to-hand with fucking Fist Lee, who was stated by Mike Guy to be so unpredictable, even he has struggles keeping him contained.
But yeah, I know, but that's like taijutsu exchanges and shit. Like,
oh yeah, I know.
Like that would technically make it easier for Kakashi to land Kamui because the activation speed and everything. Like if you think about it, like basically the moment Kakashi has Kamui activated, okay, he can basically utilize it. And if Kimamaru is not flying, you know what I mean, or moving at a crazy speed on that dragon or whatever the fuck Datara is using at that point in time. You know what I mean? Like, and he's just standing there in front of Kakashi or moving whatever. It should be a lot easier for him to land Kamui on him. And if I'm being honest with you, Kimamaru is going to be taken by surprise by that because, you know, he's not going to expect Kakashi to have a fucking time space ninjutsu just by looking at you. You know, like, fucking, like, I don't know, like, you could argue Kimamaru could win. But like, if Kakashi lands Kamui on him, that's kind of a GG. Unless you think even if he does get Kamui like on his head or arm or whatever, that Edo would still regenerate that. Or do you think Kamui negates the regeneration because it's putting it to another dimension? I think it should still regenerate. So then Kimamaru should still win.
Where would he regenerate?
Huh?
If he Kamui's his head off, or like his upper body. Would he regenerate in the Kamui dimension, or would he generate like where he got Kamui on Earth?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so weird. I don't know.
I think whatever form has the most is the one that regenerates. But no, so the thing is that this Kakashi, again, he has to focus on using the Kamui. It's not like in the war where you can just use it instantly. It takes a few seconds, and I think if he's being pressed in hand-to-hand combat, he wouldn't be able to use it in that moment.
Well, what I'll say in Kakashi's defense, even during the Kakasu arc and even the Pain arc, he was able to use Kamui perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Like, and then fucking, like, I know Kakasu, he never used it technically, but he did imply that he would have used it if it came down to it. So, like, I don't think him using Kamui is an issue, if I'm being honest. And even while, like, at the point where he's just starting, you know what I mean, to use it and fucking, like, obviously nowhere near, you know, peak condition to utilize Kamui compared to, like, his other versions, he did still pretty fucking good. Like, the only thing that, like when he was fighting against Datara, he does Kamui, right? And then Datara's arm starts getting fucked up. It gets ripped off, and then he's like, fuck, I slightly missed. I need to aim it, you know, like a little bit more better to get where I wanted it. And then he does Kamui again, and he's about to snipe Datara's fucking head off. Literally about to warp his head off, bro. And then QB Naruto comes out of nowhere and punches him in the face. So, I don't know, bro. Like, I think his Kamui's fine, but I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. I feel like there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying you're one of them, Ken. You know, like, it's understandable, but there's a lot of people that take that to the extreme and downplay Kakashi's Kamui to the point where he just at all just cannot utilize it in a fight, and basically where it's just useless and there's no point of him even having that ability when he clearly is able to do it against Datara, and that's at his worst. You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro.
He should be able to use it at least twice.
Yeah. Well, no, he does it 3 times. He does it 3 times. He does it on the arm, on Datara's head, and then on Datara's explosion to save everyone.
Well, I think he was planning to use it on his head, but I think he does. So.
Yeah. He was planning, but it was still warping Datara's head. So he was using the ability. It's just it didn't finish because fucking Naruto punched him in his goddamn head. Or whatever.
Well, then you could argue he could be able to use it 4 times, because at that point in time, he had literally just got done fighting and beating himself.
Oh, I only remember it 3 times. But
well, it's because of the no, I'm not saying that he had used it 4 times. But I'm saying because he had just got done fighting a perfect doppelganger of himself, he could be able to use it 4 times because he had already been weakened. Would have lowered his chakra to supply.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, and obviously we all know Kakashi uses Kamui and all that. Then he gets fucking hospitalized, and you know he's kind of fucked. But regardless, it doesn't matter because it's at the end of the day, if it's effective, it's gonna give him the W in the fight. You know. Okay. But like I don't know, like then it comes to the question, the real question, in my opinion, because this is basically how this goes. It's either Kimimari's stats and overall just completely fucks him, because especially if you're arguing that he's around KCM 1 level Naruto, so then meaning he wouldn't even be able to use Kamui and just get speed blitz or fucked. Or if you think they're kind of like on the same equal standing, whatever scaling wise. You know, they go, even if Kakashi can land a Kamui on Kimimaro, like, do you think he regenerates on the spot, or do you think it only regenerates in the Kamui dimension? That's the key question, and it's really hard.
Whichever part of him has the most is probably what generates, since that will have the most in his soul.
Got you. But it's just...
It's how, like, if you get cut in half, like how you don't become 2 halves, just whichever half he has the most of the soul regenerates, and the other half disintegrates. I think... I'm going to say that it's not impossible for Kakashi to win if you want to go with that, but I think I still see Kimimaro winning more times out of them, which would still justify a higher placement.
Yeah, that's fair. Now this, I don't know how I feel about these two, because these two were basically on equal footing against Hiruzen. Okay, they were severely nerfed in Edo.
Yeah, but that Hiruzen is still should be relative to Orochimaru, who's still greater than Kimimaro.
Well, yeah, to Kimimaro, I guess that's fine, but like fucking, I don't know, because like, fucking, like, these two, they fought Hiruzen. Hiruzen's fine, he's fighting back, whatever, and then fucking, you know, that's that. And if we're talking about a major time skip with fucking, especially like Shippuden people, like, they should be able to easily blitz these two. Easily. Like, just fuck them up. But the problem is, if they can't seal them, then they still lose. But, you know, there's that. But, like, if you, like I said, the whole Kamui thing again, if that for some reason does negate the regeneration, you know, then cool. But if it doesn't, then they still win. But I'm just saying, like, if we're talking Shippuden level characters, they should be able to fuck up these two. Because these two, during part 1, were contending with Old Man Hiruzen. And that's just basically that. Now, we do get to see Edo Hiruzen. back in the war, and he's doing some pretty crazy feats there too. So if you kind of want to equate that scaling to these two, then I guess you can maybe still argue they could be able to contend against you, put in characters, whatever. But that's just something to put in consideration. Whatever you guys think, I don't know. That's just me kind of spitting at this point, but that's fine. This is fine overall. So that's fine. Hebi, Sasuke. Oh, so this is like when he's fighting Itachi, basically.
Yeah, that's the one with Orochimaru. He can use all of his
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. So wait, does he have access to CM1 and CM2? Right? Okay, making sure.
Yeah, he has access to CM1. I think there's a CM2 that's somewhere up higher.
Okay, yeah, I see him there. Okay, so just CM1 then. Okay, so if it was this guy versus Kimamaru, still...
It's all the Orochimaru abilities that helps him out here.
Still,
I think Orochimaru does have ceiling jutsus.
Yeah, but all because Orochimaru knew ceiling doesn't mean he knows them.
Well, he would, because he has all of Orochimaru's abilities. It's this version of Sasuke which can use Orochimaru's substitution jutsu specifically that we know. Yeah. And we never see any other variation of Sasuke even attempt it.
That's fine. It's fair. Like, it's kind of similar to the whole argument where, obviously, if it's Noodles or anybody else, they're going to be like, well, we've never seen it, so fuck you, blah, blah. But it's kind of similar. It's kind of similar to the whole thing where the Minato argument where we know he should have, pretty powerful ceiling jutsus, even though he's never shown it. Because it's stated by Kushina that he does know those jutsus. But
definitely has some.
Yeah, so if you want to go that route and imply that this Sasuke, so if you want to imply that this Sasuke kind of similar to that with Minato should be able to know high level ceiling to at least deal with Edos, then I guess sure, that's fine. But then again, once again, if you do have someone arguing in favor for Kimamaru when it comes to scaling, like with the whole KCM1, I'm sorry, KCM1 is shitting on this Naruto. I mean not Naruto, Sasuke. There's not even a competition.
That's fine. I just think it's fair to give Sasuke everything in his arsenal for this.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to debate it and all that. And since we know he should have Orochimaru's ability, he does get that.
Wait.
He has his own version of
Ken.
The Edo Rebirth as well.
Why the fuck is this man up here?
Who?
Him. He lost to him. Or no, this guy.
He was massively weakened and all that.
True, but shouldn't he be below him then? He lost to Sasuke.
I don't know. I think he was caught off guard by the whole thing. He'd already been stabbed completely through. I don't know.
Alright.
Because he launches a Chidori blade all the way through. That Chidori stream all the way through him.
But then Orochimaru Sasuke, right? Like a fusion like Dragon Ball, right? Then why is he still above this Sasuke?
Probably because I wasn't thinking it through all the way.
Okay, that's fine. Fair.
Look, there's so many people on this list. There's a few people that where they weren't supposed to. Originally, I had Datara above Gaara. That's why I had to erase the whole thing. So I just have to go back and fix that.
Okay. This, even though he doesn't have arms, he could still manipulate Edos and all that shit too, right?
No, I don't think he can. I think the only thing he can do is stuff with his blade in his mouth and all that. So
that's it. So he should be way lower because then he's not beating these two or Kimamaru.
Yeah, I'll probably go back and put him below Neji.
That's fine.
I might even put him below Hinata to be honest. But
so War Arc, Kankuro, and Tamamark. That's fine. Narratively, scaling wise, if you want to do arguments, sure, they should be able to. Not Kimamaru though.
Helper.
Not him.
No,
not Kimamaru. No.
No.
Fucking, and then, I wouldn't even say Three Tails Naruto either. I'm sorry. Not even him. Fucking, what?
How did it go with Noodles?
What do you mean?
When you sent those screenshots about the...
Oh, you saw how that went. Don't get out. Don't do that.
It was fucking horrible. But here, I'll show just a little brief light on that. It was very painful. But oh my god.
I just want to note the ending.
No, look at this motherfucker. So like this man, like he just overthinks and overcomplicates shit. Like I know what he was on about, and what he was saying. Like, he wasn't completely in the wrong, but like he wasn't understanding what I was trying to say. And it's like it goes throughout one fucking ear out the other. So like the way it starts is fucking, I sent him that, right? Because you guys sent me that, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking troll him and be a rat and do what he does and see how he likes it. And can I get this fucking, why is this thing on my screen? The stream thing is on my screen. How do I get rid of this? Why?
You can.
You can't? Okay. Alright, whatever. But anyways, so literally it gets to a point where like I'm like proving he's greater than Kakuzu data, etc. Don't you love data books? Okay. And he's like, so relative to part 1 Orochimaru and I scan, no idea how that relates to data or Kakuzu. I'm like, states his strength is bottomless, meaning limitless. Therefore scales over Akatsuki and with Sage 1 Amp GG. And then I'm like, Elmo. And then he's like, his strength isn't bottomless though. He literally didn't have enough strength to beat Pain or Four Tails Naruto off my ass off, which technically he did beat Four Tails Naruto. He sealed him. But anyways, what's it called? Which, correct, true, but this goes to show that his arguments that he has for Kakuzu, yada, 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 meaning that it would also imply for that as well. So, like, it's okay for him to imply, to show context, right? To clearly, like, contradict data book statements, but yet let someone else do that to him. Oh, no, it doesn't, that's not, no, it's fine. Like, this is, once again, him just being a fucking hypocrite and being stupid. And I'm like, so I keep trolling him. I'm like, data book says it is, so it's true. And he's like, data book is exaggerating as there's context. Once again, back to what I was saying. So, this right here just goes to show he implies his own rules whenever he wants to. Or better yet, common sense when he feels it's necessary. Because that's just who he is. He's a fucking rat.
That's not how it works.
It's not how that works, exactly. And I'm like, then all of that is correct, but that just proves Kakuzu loses, so I'm still trolling him. I'm just ignoring what he's saying, even though I know that's correct. And then basically he's like, if Kakuzu is beyond the laws of physics and mathematics like the statement claims, then, which, mind you, he never sent me that Kakuzu statement or thing, so I guess he's wanted to keep that for his video. But this is where he started with this new Kakuzu bullshit. So apparently now Kakuzu is beyond the laws of physics and math. Like, he's beyond the laws of physics and mathematics, which, man, that beyond the laws of physics and mathematics was really doing something in the fucking Kakuzu arc. Like, shit, I guess Kakashi and all of them are fucking beyond.
Well, if you want to say he's beyond the laws of physics, then you can throw out the lightning weakness argument.
Yeah, exactly. So, but either way, so basically what he's saying is, since Kakuzu is beyond the laws of physics and mathematics, that's already making him like a fucking certain. So basically, he's implying that Kakuzu is about to reach like crazy levels of power, like universal level of power or multiverse.
Yeah, you should solo Shippuden.
Yeah, exactly. So claims that he would straight up be beyond mathematical dimensions. So I mean, he would just beat the shit out of Infinite Power Jiraiya. Which, so when he says this, I'm like, wait. I'm like, did you not just hear me? I said Infinite Power Jiraiya. Like, do you not know what that means? So I'm like, lies, infinite is greater. And he's like, you think Uni Plus is better than 4D? And I'm like, I have no idea what you're on about right now, but all I'm saying is infinite power would be greater than what you're implying, because obviously someone with infinite power could easily surpass the laws of physics. So either way, Jiraiya claps, it and base reminds you. And he's like, infinite power, and so now he's labeling what infinite power would be in his own words, or what his understanding when it comes to Uni Plus tier. And he's like, 4D, is a tier above that, meaning implying that Kakuzu is 4D tier, which, okay. And I'll show.
Normal tiers.
Yeah,
what the fuck is this?
Yeah. No, I'm going to show you what he's even talking about too. But like, so he's implying that Kakuzu is 4D tier, which apparently is a tier above Uni Plus tier, whatever. And then so he's like, and being above mathematics and logic would put you above dimensions. So apparently Kakuzu is above dimensions now, and then which would at least be the third dimension. I'm like, bro, it's not rocket science. Stop overthinking it. If you have infinite power, then you become anything you good. Like, power equates to overall stats, goddamn. And then he sends me the link with the tiering system, which, mind you, it's from Wiki, so that's even better. So it's meaning someone else writing their own shit and yada yada and explaining blah blah blah. Okay. Which the source that he sent me, it's not like a horrible source. I've used it at times whenever I'm trying to like get a recap on certain shit with Naruto. But basically he sent something to me to do with like scaling, and I'll show you guys that briefly in a bit. So he's like, you think infinity is the highest level of power? There are higher levels of infinity, right? Like, what happens when a character destroys two infinite-sized universes? The multiverse tier is literally being capable of destroying multiple infinite-sized universes. You haven't actually looked into power scaling tiers. So again, go read character stats tiering page. So then he shows that, and I'm like, once again, infinite power, meaning Jiraiya could accomplish any level of power. You think it, you're taking it way too seriously and overthinking it. And he's like, infinite power does not mean you can accomplish any level of power. There are levels of power higher than infinity, and that statement specifically limits Jiraiya to infinite power. So he's limiting what that statement is meaning for Jiraiya. And he's like, I'm not overthinking it, you're just stupid and don't know about the tiering system. I'm like, and you're just making shit up, it's not rocket science, bro. He's like, no, it's physics, and I'm not, go click that link and then scroll down, blah, blah, whatever, I can screenshot for you. And so then he's like showing this universe level. So apparently in his mind, infinite power means automatically universe level. Which, that you could easily even argue and be like, no.
It could mean more.
It could be more, exactly. So he's still not correct, but whatever.
What gets me here is the fact that we are talking about multiverse and all that shit, and we're talking about fucking Kakazu and Jiraiya.
Exactly. Like, this whole conversation is fucking AIDS, bro. So like, then you get into here. Then he shows like this. So he's basically.
I know why you started it, because you wanna, we want to get him on his own bullshit with data books and shit. But like this.
Yeah. So basically, he's showing the reason why he sent this, because he's basically saying Kakazu's multiversal level. Basically saying, I know you've at least heard of the multiversal because of my multiverse Naruto video. I'm like, bro, yes, now he's multiversal. Yep, because he's saying he's beyond. Oh, he's saying he's 4D, which apparently 4D is like. Getting to that around that point or whatever. And then he's like, I'm like, bro, yes, I know that already. Can you not read English? Infinite power. He's like, oh, you know this stuff already? Then tell me why a high universe level, which is infinite power, is below universe plus level and below multiversal. So clearly implying Kakazu's multiversal and Jiraiya is only universe plus level. Okay, so apparently Jiraiya can destroy universes now, or universe plus. And I'm like, you are a lost cause right now. You just not understanding. You're limiting the words infinite power to your definition of where it quantifies at. My definition of infinite power, which is literally stated on Google, it having no limits or boundaries in time, space, extent, or magnitude. And I literally sent him like the definition. He's like, infinite 3D has no boundary. It goes on infinitely. And that's simple. I'm like, all that other stuff you're doing is extra, bro. He's like, infinite 3D is a never-ending infinite space. That is what you consider our universe. That's what it is. I'm like, Google disagrees. He's like, no, it doesn't. It literally says no boundary, blah, blah, whatever. I'm like, I just sent you a definition. The fuck you mean? He's like, it has no boundary. It goes on forever. And then he's like, set theory also incorporates the idea of multiple higher sets of infinity. I'm like, bro, you gotta relax your brain. You're overcomplicating shit. Like, it's not that serious. It's so unnecessary. And then he's like, I mean,
this context is not,
Yeah, and I'm like, and he's like, I mean, you're just dumb if you think it's complicated. No, it's not unnecessary. You think that infinity is just the highest level of power possible, which I never said that, but okay. But there can be higher sets of infinity. That's what set theory talks about and proves. That's what mathematical dimensions are based on as well. That's why a tiering system distinguishes both high universe level, etc. I'm like,
I mean, you are just dumb. Says the guy who thinks Kakazu is multiversal. Fucking hell.
Exactly. And I'm like, you still don't get it. You are brain dead. I'm like, so I sent him the scan. You know what I mean? Like, I sent him that. I'm like, what the fuck does that say? Shut the fuck up already. And then literally, like, if you type on Google, it's really not hard. Like, if you're just, like, basically just being, basic. You know what I mean?
You don't need to.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna infinite power definition. I'm still gonna show it because it's not hard to just read shit, and fucking use your brain. It's not hard. And so I will show you this. Let me know if you guys can see what I see. Can you see this? So it says having no limits or boundaries in time,
that's the thing you said before.
Space, extent, or magnitude. That's it. I'm not trying to go into whether if it's infinite of fucking, all this other fucking bullshit in tier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking dumb. Like, and even if I were to even entertain that and go into the whole fucking tier list, which I won't show the rest. The rest is just him just basically arguing me back and forth and, and call me dumb, and I'm just saying he's dumb. So if you go to the tier list, which I'll stream that as well.
Dude, there is no fucking character in Shippuden that is universal. Let alone multiverse.
Not to Noodles.
And definitely not fucking Kakazu.
This is obviously what we all know already. You know what I mean? Like, you have you have like all this shit, you know what I mean? Like average human level, street level, wall level. You guys have ever heard of that stuff, right? Building level. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Great. Nuclear. Then you have mountain level. Then you have fucking, you know, all that shit. Country, continental. Remember, multi-continental and Kakazu was originally that. But now he's fucking, you know.
He's tier 1.
now he's fucking beyond, bro. You know, then you have celestial, like moon level, pick characters that can destroy moons, and you have planet level or small planet level. You know, so it goes on, right? Then you have galaxy and all that. Then you have, then you get to the big stuff. Then you have, you know, multiverse, you know, like low multiverse, whatever, which in my opinion, I swear to God, this is just really annoying because it like the fact that there's even categories of this shit, you know, like it just say multiverse. You know, like
you don't have to explain this shit.
Yeah,
there's nothing to do with that shit.
It's fucking stupid. But no, but like this is where apparently Kakazu's at now. He's around here.
I'm surprised he ain't tier 0 or some shit.
So I'm very well aware that like there's different categories of power level, like that goes into the whole concept of either omnipotence, you know, or whatever. I know all that shit. I've seen Marvel, I've seen DC, like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's a fucking idiot, you know?
Yeah, that ain't Naruto, though.
Yeah, you know, so, like, it just gets to the point where that's basically all the nonsense that he's talking about. But apparently, Jiraiya is universe plus level, so Jiraiya can destroy universes to noodles, and Kakazu is multiversal level. That's what we got from that.
I just want to fucking die.
I'm like, okay, bro. And mind you, I'm just trying to rat. I'm trying to troll him back, and I'm literally just basically implying that since the statement says bottomless, which would be infinite.
I know you're not stupid.
Yeah, meaning that Jiraiya could be omnipotent if he wanted to. So fuck you, whatever he wants.
Jiraiya is fucking universal, even with 10 Sage modes.
Apparently the noodles. With that statement that I showed him, that just makes him only universal.
I don't want to live anymore.
So, hey, it is what it is at that point. But anyways, enough with the talking about the idiot.
Yeah, let's continue. Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, I was asking if Ken is here.
Oh yeah, they're kind of...
Emotionally, no.
Alright, we can continue.
What do you think about all that, Ken? You didn't even say anything.
Oh, I went in, refilled my water bottle while I had a chance, went to the restroom, you know, the fun stuff.
Oh, okay,
that's
so...
actually good. That's actually good. It doesn't have brain damage then. So let's continue.
Fucking... Wait.
I was still listening. I just had to go get myself a refill of my water, basically.
Are you guys saying there's an echo for some reason?
Oh no, when you're not on the stream list, when you're recording your Discord, it records our voices as well, so it echoes back, and then when it echoes, it re-echoes.
Oh, my bad.
If you record Discord, then there is an echo, but if you're showing a fucking tier list or Google, it doesn't.
It's good now.
Okay, yeah. Cool. There's probably like a settings I can do, I mean, in order to take care of that volume shit, but I'll have to
figure it out. There's a reduce echo option.
Oh. But anyways, so back to the tier list, though. Anyways, let's get back to it.
Getting into the costumes.
Yep, so we're going to get into the big boys soon. Hit on. I'm going to be honest with you. Come on, bro. What? Oh,
yeah, no, so it's not just necessarily over their ability to beat the other people as well. It is more off their, pure who scales above who in a fight.
Oh, okay, so you're not doing it based on who would win in a fight, you're doing it basically like who scales over?
Yeah, it's not necessarily who would win in a fight. So if it's obvious who would win in a fight, then that definitely helps. But if I think a character has more likely to be able to get a win in a fight, then I think that definitely helps. But
okay,
if you beat a lot more people than the other person beats, that
I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about fucking like who wins in a fight, Hidon's not beating these two because they're Edos. He doesn't have any ceiling jutsu.
I don't think Hidon beats would be able to. I think.
I'm just saying, like, he's not beating these three. They're Edos. Like, it's not gonna work.
I think that's kind of unfair for the That's kind of an unfair Edo advantage, but I do think they'd have to wear him down. So.
Yeah, but
so they can't beat him. Yeah, just pure stats. I have him higher.
Yeah, so you have that, but if we're talking like scaling, I would still say he would scale over Hidon because, you know, this Hidon was struggling against characters fucking, you know what I mean, the Kakasu arc, while he's over here fighting against fucking KCM on Naruto and all these other people during the war arc. So I'm just saying, but Anyways, and then you could imply that these two would also scale over hit on as well, but that's fine. Kasame with Samahata. Oh yeah, this man's a wait. Without. Oh, okay. I'm about to say I thought it was with.
Yeah, without.
Without.
He loses his ability to heal. He uses his ability to negate.
If I'm being honest, like.
Well, at least effectively, because he stuns those sharks, but.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, he's still fucking strong even without his sword. Like,
oh yeah, no, he's not weak.
Yeah, what we do know is he's 50% weaker without his sword. It's literally stated that any of them without their swords are like 50% basically nerfed. So that's fine. So yeah, he doesn't have a sword, none of that shit. Like, it's really hard to even quantify this Kasame at this. We know he has crazy amount of chakra, but it's really hard to quantify exactly how far you could even scale him. But, what we do know that he can do is he can still summon, tsunamis of, water and fucking sharks and do that big-ass shark jutsu that can absorb your ability and just overpower it no matter what. He also can still absorb chakra or ninjutsu with his body. That was also shown without Samahata. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, but it's not as effectively.
True. Yeah, true. You could probably say it's nowhere near, but, like, the fact that he could still...
if he could rip him in half the way he did, then I don't think a jutsu which has a lot more chakra in it is something he'd be able to negate like he could with the Samahata.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when they did, like, that one fucking jutsu on him, and then he's over here absorbing their chakra, and they all get weaker and shit, like, that was pretty cool. Like, I didn't even know he could still do that, but, like, either way, he's still not a pushover. I mean, like, he's still strong, but at least compared to... all these people, I guess you could maybe scale him higher or whatever. But one thing I will say is, if we're talking about beating once again, I know you said it's not really based on who wins in a fight, but more of like scaling wise, who scales over. If we're talking about fighting, I would say he still beats him. These two would also beat Kasame. Everybody else basically gets clapped. Well, I'd say Three Tails Naruto beats him. You could argue for Sasuke to get a W if he's utilizing Genjutsu with his CM1. That's fine. I don't know if this is tricky. These two. I don't know. How do you feel on that, Loke? If they were to fight.
Oh. Real fast, before we move on, for the Sasuke thing, I don't think basic Sharingan Jutsu would work against Kasame since Itachi never tried it. I think Itachi would know to use his Sharingan before he tried to use his MS.
True, that's fair. Yeah, so you could argue that. But see, that's with Samahata, though, you know what I mean? Where
yeah, but I don't know if Saitama would specifically increase his ability to resist Genjutsu on that level. I mean, you could argue it could, but I don't think there's anything that would suggest that he would need it to.
Well, main reason is because Samahata was giving him way more chakra. That's why. You know what I mean? And then if he morphed into it, then he becomes like a tailless tail beast. But
fair enough.
But either way, that's fine. Whether you think it works on him or not, then he loses. But if not, and he can still overpower because he has so much chakra and stamina, then Genjutsu won't be obviously a deciding factor. He just breaks out of it. He's great. But I don't know. Like, I still like if Sasuke, he the only way he's winning is in Taijutsu. It's either Taijutsu or Genjutsu. If he does any ninjutsu, he's just gonna fucking negate that shit,
The Taijutsu with Kisame?
Yeah, I don't know if I can swallow that pill, boss.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so if he's doing Taijutsu, then that could be able to fuck his ass up. Yeah, he loses. But if Sasuke's doing ninjutsu and shit, then he could start getting in trouble because remember he'll start getting more stronger, and well, actually, no, the shark jutsu only would get stronger and then overpower and fuck up the opponent, not him. I forgot.
No, I was talking about Kisame. Like, Taijutsu with Kisame?
Yeah. Like, no, like, don't get me wrong. Sasuke and especially CM1 Sasuke would be way better in Taijutsu against this type of Kisame. I agree.
Like, no. I know he doesn't have Samehara, but what I also know is that Kisame is a fucking beast in hand-to-hand. Like, he is really...
Oh, you think he's beating him? In Taijutsu too? This Kisame?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He should be able to throw hands with Itachi, even without the sword. Like, that definitely helps him out, but come on.
Yeah.
It's a touch.
I think the only
It's fine.
Genjutsu.
It's fine. I'm not gonna argue it or anything. Like that would require me to really look more into it. And if I'm being honest with you, but fucking
That sounds like work, and I'm not about work.
but it's fine. It's fine. You know. So if you still think he just clapped, whatever. But I'm just saying, fucking. I think this Naruto would actually be really fucked. Like, because if he just straight up speed blitzes like he did to Orochimaru, then he's fucked. But like, if he does like immediately like a tail beast bomb or like a chakra shock or whatever, he just has to do his shark thing, and he's gonna take all the damage. You know what I mean? And that's gonna fuck him. So he could be able to beat this Naruto, but he needs to be smart. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rising Shuriken. This is actually gonna be hard because if he is the Rising. If he uses the Rising Shuriken, what was that?
The reason why he's as low as he is, just for your reminder, because I did talk about this in the last part, he's that low because of the Rasen Shuriken's fail rate.
Gotcha.
So if he gets close and it fails, I think Kisame would just mess him up. If it succeeds, then that's GG, but if it has a 50% fail rate, I don't think it's safe to fall back on.
Of course, that's fair too. There's nothing wrong with that. One thing I will say. Yeah, one thing I will say though, like I'm just saying, speaking for Kasame, like this is more beneficial for him either way because you know if he does his Rising Shuriken, you know what I mean, like, and he's able to like try to, like, I just do not see this Naruto landing that on him. You know what I mean? Like he has to, like even like. Like, it's going to be hard, because he's going to have to deal with water waves coming at him, fucking sharks, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, like, and then the whole thing what you said, like, if he especially pulls that same thing he did with fucking Kakasu, then Kasame would just exploit that and fucking kill him. You know, so, and it's like, you know, that's just that. Now, if you think this Naruto could be able to pull the same feat he did against Kakasu the second time with the diversions, and land a Rising Shuriken, I'm sorry, Kasame is not tanking that. But, you know, but that's just, I don't know, I feel like he's going to more than likely win that fight 9 out of 10 times. And obviously, if referring to scaling, that's fine. You could scale Kasame over this even without Samahara because he just has so much fucking chakra, you know what I mean, and everything. He's a beast. But, you know, you'd be surprised. Some people actually get really heated from that and be like, what? You're fucking... You're putting Rising Shuriken Naruto below Kasame without Samahara? You fucking bastards! So, I don't know. So if you guys get me yelled at for that, it's your fault. But
oh well, what did I just find? Oh god.
What?
Oh fuck.
What?
Noodles released a new video.
What do you mean?
And by the title, I can see it's gonna be heated.
I think it's the one I told you about earlier.
Oh no. Right now? Did you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
And there is a comment about you, Batman, already.
About me?
Yeah, about you.
Why me?
I don't know. There it is in the chat, you can read it. I don't know what the fuck he means.
Why the fuck is he talking about me?
The guy in the comments though, not Noodles.
Oh, okay,
It's in
okay.
the chat. It's in the chat.
Oh, in the chat?
Look there. I don't know what does he mean, this guy. I actually don't know the context of this. So I cannot fucking speak about it, but...
To Vitamin... Why does everyone always call me fucking Vitamin Man? Like, that's not...
It's basically them saying that he should react to your comment of him saying that... You saying that no one can resist water evaporation temperatures.
I don't even remember or recall, but okay.
I don't know, I'm too drunk for this.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's even... that guy's even talking about, or whatever, but... Fucking... But anyways... I thought you meant he posted a video, too, though.
Yeah, you got me excited, you jerk.
Hey, you asshole.
No. 6 days ago, but that's a new one, like the newest one. Fucking... The one right there, on the left.
Oh, shit, they were fucking hating on 6?
I felt like a jerk for a whole second.
We're gonna have to watch this video, to be honest. What's it called?
I saw that you had posted that video, and for some reason I thought I remember you already posting it, then I remember that was Noodles, and I was like, how the hell did I even mix those two up?
Yeah. Alright, well, anyways, let's get out of there. We'll react to this, so that'll probably be funny to react to together, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know if you guys seen that yet.
I have.
Oh, you haven't read it?
I haven't. I
Okay.
haven't.
Me and Loke can react to it.
Sure.
But anyways,
I actually didn't even see the video from 6 that you mentioned it, the one he's reacting to. You know, Tobirama versus Sasuke.
yeah,
I did not have the time to watch it still. Fuck.
that's fine. Yeah, it's okay, bro. So fucking. All right, let's get back. Jugo transformed. That's fair. Like, you want to know what's weird about this fucking character though? Like he doesn't really get a lot of screen time. You know what I mean? Like, the only time we ever really see him fighting is like against Raikage and then Killer Bee, but like he just gets shitted on. You know, like I don't know how I feel about fucking Jugo, but I guess that's fine. You know, he should you can, like, especially with his fucking CM2 full transformation, all the chakra and everything, you could be able to argue he should be able to fuck Kasame up without Samahata, right? Like, that's not unreasonable.
Hey, who, Jugo?
Yeah, Jugo with his full transformed.
He beats him and Taijutsu. His Senjutsu would be too much for him to absorb.
Yeah.
No.
That's fine.
And he has jets in his back.
Definitely.
So I just have to respect that.
Yeah, definitely would clap him. Fucking, unless like this Jugo's being reckless and he's able to slice him, then Jugo could get fucked. But if he just straight up overpowers and speed blitz hit on, then it's fine, and I don't see why not. Especially when hit on was struggling with other characters that are.
Well, that man likes pain, so I don't even know. Like, unless he does a final blow.
Yeah.
And he wants to have a guy to torture his opponents.
I'm just saying, like, Jugo's fighting style could fuck him over against hit on, because of his hacks.
And you have to make a circle, so I don't know.
Yeah, but anyways, you could make arguments narratively scaling wise for these two to beat him, but I still feel like he would just overpower them and kill them. Fucking Sasuke. I think this Sasuke would do just fine with CM1. Especially with Orochimaru, I think he would also be able to beat him.
Well, okay, so keep in mind that would be that you can add it to or not necessarily the one that fought him at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I do think that Jigen would have gotten more powerful than what that heavy Sasuke would have been.
Yeah, true, that's fair. But I'm just saying, like, this Sasuke was, like, over here making statements to Jugo, like, if you ever lose control, I could just control you with my shotgun, so it's okay.
Yeah, but that would have been a more powerful Sasuke, because he would be scaling alongside him.
Yeah.
So I do think what Jigen does become would be more powerful than that heavy.
Gotcha. What do you think? What do you think on that, Loke? Do you think this man's smacking this Sasuke, or do you think the Sasuke would be fine?
I don't think he's smacking him, but I definitely think he, at that point when he's at his max power, has more of a chance of beating than losing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in Taijutsu, like, I feel like Sasuke would get overwhelmed pretty quickly if he doesn't use Genjutsu to, subdue him. And
yeah, exactly. Which, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Sasuke would just use Genjutsu to subdue him, like he basically said he would.
Oh, and that is only with CS1 as well. There's CS2 later on.
Yeah, I know. And with CM1, it's a big enough amp. I should be able to help him too. But
okay.
I don't know. That's just me. I think Sasuke could still take him or immobilize him if he needed to restrain him. Fucking, if he's having a fight against these three, he's not winning once again because of Edo.
I hope you think that Jugen transforms beats Base Jugen.
Three Tails Naruto, I think, would still smack his ass. Like, it's either they're brawling and just going at it, and then Jugo wins, or it's just Naruto just beats him. And if we're comparing at least destructive feats and all that, especially compared to what Naruto did with just Three Tails alone compared to him, I would say Naruto has better showings visually wise. Everything else is fine.
I think he just can outspeed. Oh. Outside of Rock Lee with Mike out at the gates with an Apolder and Kashi's Mangekyo, which is a bit unreliable, I do think he probably beat those two as well.
Konan, she was able to fight against Obito, which is pretty impressive.
That was with prep.
Yeah, but not even like people like to downplay her because like before she even uses prep, she's doing just fine against Obito, and she was even able to injure him without prep. So
Oh yeah, I don't think it's impossible for her because that's why I have her like above Jigen, Kakuzu, Retail Naruto. Because I don't think she's weak. I just think the people who beat her are just ridiculous.
About Jugo, right?
Yeah.
What about Jugo?
Oh, above Jugo. Because you said Jigen, not Jugo.
She's above Jigen too.
Oh yeah, okay.
She beat the Otsutsuki. She is what everyone wants Kakuzu to be.
Yeah, Konan is strong. She is strong. She's a weird character, but she's strong. Obviously, if we're talking about prep time and all that, then she could be way higher. But without prep time, then I don't know. I don't think she's gonna be able to beat. Like, if she's able to catch Sasuke slipping just like she was able to do at Obito with that one, with her weird type of like Kamui copycat jutsu thing that she has and with the bombs, then she could be able to kill Sasuke. But then again, like, Sasuke is a smart ninja, you know what I mean? Like, he's not just going to go in there being an idiot. Like, he'll use Shadow Clone or Substitution or whatever. But then what's really weird is you would think he'd do that, right? But whenever you actually see him fight, 9 out of 10 times, it's him going in doing shit. And he's not even using a Shadow Clone or Substitution, if I'm actually...
Never does Shadow Clones.
Sasuke never does that shit. Like, what...
He uses Substitution.
Yeah, he does Substitution. So you could argue that he could still do Substitution and shit, but, like, it'd be interesting for these two to fight. I still think Sasuke's going to win it, mainly due to either his Genjutsu, Lightning. He just has so much more than what she does, But no it could go either way. Yeah, this is no prep. It can go either way. And same thing with these two. Unless you just think Konan massively scales over this Sasuke. You know what I mean? Narratively and everything. And that's fine. But we have Danzo. Yeah, that's fine. He was able to fight against 5 Kage-sama Sasuke, which is arguably stronger and shit. Yep, and then, she fucking lost to 1 Izanagi. So, yeah, that's fine. I forgot about that. Do you think... Yeah, no. He would have the AP to do it. Yeah, he'd fuck him up, too. He'd fuck up Kasame.
Wait. She lost to 1 Izanagi, right?
Yeah.
Obito actually used it properly, unlike Danzo, who just wasted those fucking eyes and still got clapped.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can compare Obito to Danzo. Like, that's fucking silly.
How dare you tell this man what he can do?
Mm-hmm. I feel you there. I'm just saying, since he does have Izanagi, though,
yeah, I mean,
a lot. It's gonna catch. It's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna catch her slipping.
He could also use Karamatsu Kami on her if he really wanted.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be necessary.
Just make her stand still.
So yeah, he could be a deal. You could infer he could be more than likely know Sealing Jutsu. That'd be really weird if he didn't know Sealing Jutsu to deal with Edo's. So he
has a Sealing Jutsu.
Actually, yep. So yeah, he could deal with these two. Kimaru. That'd be interesting, if I'm being honest with you. But because of the element of surprise, because of Izanagi, maybe you could argue that he would have an opening just like he did on 5 Kage Summit Sasuke. And, and that'd be it, GG. But the only reason why Sasuke survived is because he still had Susanoo activated. But that's just that. If Jiraiya can deal with 4 tails Naruto, he could deal with 3 tails. So that's fine. He's also fucking up that Naruto as well. He's fucking up. Yep, everyone else is fine. Because Izanagi is kind of like a hard counter to the gates. It's really not fair. Do you have a higher Kakashi? Okay, you do a Peinar Kakashi. Okay, I was wondering what you were doing with Kakashi. Shippuden, this would be interesting. I feel like they could be able to fight, but I feel like Danzo would be able to outlast this Kakashi, and then he just wins because of that, or the element of surprise. So that's fine. Hanzo, interesting. You think Hanzo's beating Danzo?
Every single time he just re-poisons him.
Yeah, that is fair.
Because his poison paralyzes, so even if he uses it on his Nami, he'd be still paralyzed by the time it's done. He just re-poisons, he reuses his Nami, he gets re-paralyzed. It's just a whole mess.
Yeah, but you don't think his Izanagi is gonna catch him off guard? Remember, it's not like he's doing Shadow Clone substitution, which you can kind of recognize or pick up on. You don't think?
No, but I don't think he's the type of man to drop his. He was fighting throughout the whole war, so it'd be weird if he dropped his guard that easily.
Okay.
And once if he fails to beat him that first time, then it's not happening.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Hanzo is powerful. He's strong, so.
Especially Prime Hanzo.
Yeah, so that's fine. Yeah, that's fair. Are you doing that because of their fight that they had? Okay. Ken and Gen.
Oh yeah, the 2 Jubito level characters.
Yeah, yep, Jubito level. Yep, that's fine. They wash all of them up. They also have sealing tools, so Edos are definitely not a problem. I don't know about these 3 losing to Ken again. I don't know about that. Or winning.
Why?
I don't know, because like they have V2 transformation, the 6-path tool, sealing.
I am giving them the ability to do their summonings. I'm not scaling them to do their summonings, but they can use them in the fight.
Even with the summonings, though.
Oh, and they're not allowed to use their 9 Tails abilities.
Oh, they're not? Oh, okay. Yeah, I just realized. Okay, so if it's just summon base and shit, that's fine. You know, you can make arguments of how they can pull it off or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. Let me see. Here is in. Okay, that's fair.
Because they're not getting their enhanced forms either. So no 1,000 ceilings, no 8-headed serpent, no sage mode, no Monpaw. But he does get the monkey staff, so.
Pains.
They're good in a group, but what they're able to cover in a group, the weaknesses of the others, they can't do one-on-one. That's why they're as low as they are. Don't worry, that gets justified later.
It's interesting for the Pains because, like, obviously we don't really have a lot to go off, especially if they're by themselves. We know, obviously, which ones are weaker and which ones are the strongest. But it's interesting because what we do know, obviously, if it's just one that he's utilizing, he could basically give all his chakra to that Path of Pain. But, like for instance, like, if we're talking about this fucking guy, like, if we're talking about, like, Nagito just gets him a shit ton of chakra and controlling him, you can make arguments that, you know, he could be just too fast or strong and just fuck up a lot of people on this list.
Maybe, but that feels like speculation, and I don't like speculation.
No, I know. I'm just saying. You know, like, Nagato has crazy amount of chakra and stamina, and then, like, with him having both Madara's eyes and, like, you know, it's a big deal. So you could make arguments for them just because of how much chakra they have. They could just be able to fuck up a lot of these people. But, you know, if we're going to be a little bit more fair and not really go down that route and wink, then that's fine. Fucking, like, if I'm being honest, though, like, fucking Jiraiya, like, do you have their forms up more above or no?
Which forms?
These are the beginning forms. Okay. Got you. I see what you're doing. Yeah. Okay. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Let me just go up here. Summonings. Okay. That's fair. They're strong as fuck. Now, one thing I will say, though, is... wasn't there statements to where Orochimaru was able to subdue him? Manda, though?
There's a statement later on where when he uses the 8-headed serpent, which states that that form of him is more powerful than that one.
Gotcha.
But I'm not using that version of Orochimaru.
Okay, which is why, yeah. And then this version was always talking shit to Orochimaru anyways, to base, so yeah, that's fine.
And we know they all should be weaker than their summonings as well, since it wouldn't make sense for them to use them in high-stress situations if they were weaker than the Sani.
Yeah.
Ignore the next 3, I just placed them there arbitrarily. I don't know they should be in that ballpark, but I don't necessarily know if they should be above the summonings.
It's fair. You could argue these summonings could be able to kill these three.
I just know they're somewhere around there. I just don't.
Yeah, that's. See, even these pains though, I don't think they're beating these pains. Like he could be able to beat one of them, like especially the weak ones, like either him, or maybe or that one, or him.
Not the animal path.
But not the animal path. No, hell no. And then like fucking. Like,
if they can get to him before he
like this man right here, I feel like he'd get clapped by any of these pains. She would also get clapped. Fucking, but that's just me, whatever. Darby could probably be able to beat him, and I think this would be the only one that like would be a problem for Darby and beat him.
But regarding those statements before Orochimaru and Manda, right?
Yeah.
It's actually quite the opposite. Like Kabuto says, he cannot even subdue Manda. Like he's not able to do that, and even Suigetsu says that after Sasuke uses Manda.
Yeah.
To save himself.
Sasuke had to use Genjutsu. It wasn't like he just told him, hey, like he said, nah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, he used Genjutsu.
So yeah, it's not like they could just brute power with their body alone. Just it's. But I'm telling you right now, like there's people like Six or other people that will actually argue and say Naruto characters could be able to just brawl with their fist and beat these fucking summonings, and it's like okay.
Boruto characters maybe.
Yeah.
Choji.
Or Choji.
Yeah, Choji.
I know part one Choji just slams Gamabunta with his multi-continental power and light speed.
Shit again, man.
Yep, exactly. And then Darby.
He did it.
Fucking yeah. So yeah.
I actually rewatched that video.
Now we're talking about Four Tails Naruto and then V2 Kikugu. So this is what I'll say. So this pain gets fucked by these two. This pain also gets fucked by these two. This pain could maybe be able to pull it off because he can absorb chakra, which obviously would just make you more powerful and stronger. So if he's like just absorbing their shit, and everything, or especially even if they charge him, he could absorb it on contact, so that he could actually be a problem for these two. But, could they still be able to win maybe by doing some of their weird attacks and shit or, whatever, then sure. But fucking, that's just that. He would obviously still lose. Yeah, he has summonings and infinite, but like, like if he does like the dog, like the infinite summoning, that's fine as well. But then it just comes to a point where they're just fighting forever. And like, do you think Kinkaku also has the same negative effects as Four Tails Naruto, where it's hurting the user and fucking them over the longer they're in it, And then
he has a lot less of the chakra, but probably.
So like if that's the case, then he could just be able to outlast whatever. Remember, these pains do have the rods as well, so don't forget that. If they land any of the rods, they're fucked. You know what I mean? Like, so that's something to also remember and put into consideration. That's actually a really big deal, for even these people. I mean, they get a rod on them, whatever, they're kind of fucked, So they could be able to pull it off. They could, but it's going to be hard, especially if they're by themselves. You could definitely say that these two would more than likely just fuck these two, But when it comes to these two, they might be able to pull it off by themselves at least. Maybe. I don't know. That's just me being generous, Orochimaru Shippuden. So, I actually disagree with this. Because this Naruto would have killed Orochimaru. He killed him over and over and over. And he only was alive because of him just regenerating or using chakra to come back or substituting. And his sword couldn't even pierce him.
I am giving that Orochimaru thing.
What's that?
I am giving that Orochimaru thing.
Oh, the 8-headed serpent thing?
Yeah.
Even with the 8-headed serpent thing, I still don't think that he's beaten these two.
He was able to push Itachi Susanoo, damage him through it, and it stayed more powerful than Manda.
I don't know.
Manda should be more powerful than Jiraiya, who was able to fight off and conceal the Four-Tail state.
That is true. Yeah, Jiraiya was able to seal the Four Tails. I forgot about that, yeah. So,
but to be fair, he is just barely above. So if you want to say that Naruto should be able to beat him, it's not like it's unquestionable by this list anyway. So
yeah, if Orochimaru is able to land like a ceiling, obviously on one of these, and yeah, they're done. But fucking his sword's not doing anything. All his other shit didn't do anything. He would have to fully transform. You know what I mean? To the 8-headed serpent. And then basically it comes to the question is if you think his 8-headed serpent is just one-shotting them or fucking them up and that's it, they're knocked out, or if you think they could still contend and just fight back and forth, whatever, and then that's it, But it's interesting, though. It is interesting. So, but that's fair. It's fine. Pain, yep, that's fine. This guy's a fucking beast.
He ripped Sage Dry's arm off, so I can't see him just not being able to rip Orochimaru in half over and over and over again.
Yep. And he has the rods, all his weapons, you know what I mean? He even, shitted on a V2 transformation with this guy. So that's fine. So yeah, he should be able to do... Yep. Shikaku, fully transformed.
Oh, by the way, for the Tail Beast, that's not their Jinchuriki, that is just the Tail Beast themselves.
Okay.
So just in case there's any confusion there, because I didn't think it was... Because I kind of want the Tail Beast to be on this list by themselves.
Yeah.
As if there is no other versions, I just figured I'd do them separately from their Jinchuriki hosts. Just face Tail Beast.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's a fucking Tail Beast, bro. Fucking, that's fine. And the only way this Pain or any of these could even pull off a W against a fucking Tail Beast is if they have access to the chains, which I do not think it's the case because they never ever showed that. Only Obito and Madara did. So,
well, I think in a group they could probably do it, but not one-on-one. That's for sure.
Yeah. But so that's fine. Yep, that's fine. Fucking. Yep, you're doing an order. Okay, it's great.
Oh yeah, here we
there's
go.
a place between them.
This is the
So why is Datara above this man?
So we do know that Datara is able to beat the Tail Beast without whatever difficulty you want to say.
Yeah,
it's fine. I'll just agree with it because it's whatever. But so we do know that the Tail Beast can beat the summonings, and so even if the 8-head Tail Serpent is stronger, we don't know how much more powerful it is, and so theoretically, it's more likely that Datara's Bongs will be able to give him the win over even the 8-head Serpent Jutsu.
Datara is strong.
Datara was trying to get himself up to Itachi's level, so he would be pushing himself to that level while Orochimaru kind of gave up on Itachi.
Yeah, Datara is strong and everything. It's just fucking I don't know. I feel like this Pain is just straight up just bullying his ass. He just rushes and fucking just shits on him. If I'm being honest with you, and even if Datara is somehow able to react to this Pain and do explosions and shit and all that other crap, you could just argue he could just be with a fucking tank. A lot of explosions, especially incorporating chakra and everything. And I don't know. It's fine. It's fair. But this Pain is really fucking strong. And then the whole thing with him fighting against the fucking Three Tails, it's really weird because it's him and Toby fighting against the Three Tails, and it's literally an off-screen fight. We don't really know. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I mean, it's an off-screen fight, but I'm not going off the off-screen fight. No. I'm going off the fact that he does. So the Three Tails is a giant turtle. They're in the water. Datara is a flying fighter, but he's in the water with him, and he's able to keep up and attack him with an explosion, which does do a good amount of damage.
Yeah.
So that is something to keep in mind. So he's out of his element, he's in his opponent's element, and he can still hurt him massively. I think the only thing you could probably argue against it is maybe the Three Tails just wasn't aware that he was fighting at the moment, but
I don't know, but fucking.
So he is just kind of swimming forward when we see him get hit. So I don't know.
Yeah. I just feel like fucking if Kakashi, the beginning of Shippuden, was kind of doing all right against his Datara. Even though I do know he was missing an arm and all the other shit, but fucking.
He just also got done fighting Gaara, so I don't think that's fair to take away from that. That'd be like saying Pain lost to Naruto, therefore Pain's lower than Naruto, but ignoring the fact that he just got done destroying the village. I mean, they're not on the same scale, but it is something to keep in mind. Gaara's no joke.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. Could he? Maybe, but it's just, I don't know, when looking at things narratively and just how fucking powerful he is, how much chakra and everything Nagato has and all that, I feel like this man just straight up is just doing missiles, explosions, shooting him, you know, like, and he's just gonna have a tough time, and like anything he throws, he'll be able to deal with it, and then if he lands any of his attacks in Data, or Data is fucked. If he hits a rod on him, he's fucked. Like, I don't know, but
don't worry, I do paint Justice later if you think I have them too low here, because there is them in the whole group on here.
And then like even the Path of Pain by himself might be able to fuck up Data. Like with all his summonings and the Infinite Dog. But
because all you have to do is beat the summoning path, and then the summonings go away. And I do think
true, but if
would be able to do what it needs to do.
True, but in character, fucking, he always utilizes the chameleon and hides while using all the other summonings, and while Data is.
I was just going to say, the C4 doesn't really matter if you're hiding or not, because it just really matters if you're breathing in. And I do think the chameleon would have to breathe in. You could argue the dead bodies don't.
Well, even that, like, C3 is actually even out of the equation because of the Renegon. He'll just see the chakra and everything, and I mean, he does have access to all 5 chakra natures, even though I know they've never shown it individually, but the fact that Nagato could do it, it'd be really weird to say they couldn't do it.
Look, I'm not going to tell you they can't. That feels very
so they might know lightning style as well. Also, you know, since he can see it, he could just move away. You know what I mean? Like, so
C4?
Well, no, C3. C3 is where it blows you up in a cellular, you know, level.
Oh, that's C4.
Oh, it's C4? I thought it was C3.
That's C4. No, C3 is the bigger explosion.
Oh, okay.
Then the biggest one is C0.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. So C4, like, I don't know. I feel like Pain wants to be able to deal with it, but like, it's okay to say like this guy can maybe shit on these 3, even though I feel like you could still argue for them. You know what I mean? But that's fine. But I don't know. Summoning and him.
They're below the tail beast, and I know Data can beat the tail beast. So that's the reason why they're in that order. If you think there's like a triangle there, which one character could be another but can't another, then that's fine. But
it's just like, but see, with that mentality though, if we're to, you know, to say Data as AP is enough to be able to beat Tail Beast, which for all we know, sure, he was able to beat this one with, you know, Toby's help. So yeah, maybe you can imply he could beat 2 and him, not Shikaku, because he has even greater defense. But fucking, like, then you get to these 3, which they are even more powerful. It's like, does he still be able to have the ability to beat them? I mean, that's questionable. And then not only that, if we're going,
that's why the next guy's where he is.
Gotcha. And then if we're going like the route of like, you know, if he's able to one shot, then why wouldn't it be unbelievable for him to one shot a Tail Beast, or for him to?
Well, I don't think he one shot.
You know,
no. Don't get me wrong. He doesn't one shot a Tail Beast.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. He hit a Tail Beast and it didn't go down. He doesn't one shot.
Okay.
Sorry, I just can't let that one fly.
No, you're fine. It's fine though. I'm gonna let it be. I'm just saying, like, that's a little bit. I feel like you could argue back and forth. That's just contentious, but
I don't think it's impossible for the Asura Path to beat Datara. I just think it's more likely that Datara could probably get a win.
Yeah. Okay. Then you have these 2 up here. Okay.
He can fly, and the other guy can shoot a beam of lightning that would just keep going until it tags himself.
Mm-hmm. Then you have Joining Minato.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, Joining Minato, I did move up higher.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did ultimately end up moving him higher.
Okay, good. So don't talk about him then, because I'm about to say.
Joining Minato goes above
One thing I will say though. Yeah, one thing I will say that's really interesting about Joining Minato is, at least like fighting him. This would actually be interesting because he can actually create multiple faces all around his head. So he'll have link vision. You know what I mean? So whenever like Minato's like trying to teleport around him or maybe behind him, he could still be able to see him, and then you could argue he could be able to react and everything. You know, or utilizing.
He can't make a face behind him.
Well, he could. He did it on his right and left side.
On. He's got the hat on. It does him no good.
No, I mean, like, he did it on his right and left side. So why couldn't he not be able to do it on his back side? That makes no sense.
No, I'm not saying he... Okay, let me rephrase. I don't think it'll do him too much good because of the way his hat is.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like...
What does he take off his hat?
Yeah. So, but either way,
Is that a hat?
he can create. It's a headband, but he can create faces that will help give him more vision. To watch for his blind spots and all that and everything. With like his swords and weapons, laser beams, missiles, all that shit. Like it'd be actually really interesting to see these two fight. In my opinion, that's just me though. I feel like.
But but Johnny Minato does go right below Itachi on this list. I did move him later on that, and I can send you that one later on if you want.
Yeah. I'm just saying this could be interesting. It could. So that's just me though.
I think Minato would still move way too fast for him to react to.
Yeah,
personally.
Well, yeah. Minato is fast, because of the flying Raijin and everything. But like, when we're just talking about combat speed and all that, like Minato's not. Yeah, Minato's like not like fucking way. Yeah, he can summon Gambuta. That is true. So, but Minato can more. Obviously, I'm not saying he can pull a W. This Minato, he could more likely be able to beat this pain by himself. But if we're talking about fucking, them just going at it, whatever, you could maybe say he could be able to catch Minato slipping. I don't know, maybe, but I don't know. I'm just saying it'd be interesting. It'd be a cool fight. But yeah, Minato more likely wins. He has access to summon him. We don't know if he does know Sage Mode at this point or not, but if he does, that's even worse. So,
no.
So
actually, Batman. Before I forget, I know you watched, and I even watched your video on it. That's how I know you watched it.
Yeah.
I know you watched the fucking Kabuki and Afro debate with Seth. So was I capping, or was it as fun as I said?
Oh yeah, no, it was funny. Yeah, it was good. It was fucking good. Oh yeah, he was just bullying their shit. Mind you, he was only even talking about joning Minato. It was so sad. I was like, God damn. But
the whole thing with the light speed that ended me when I first watched.
No, he did get his ass, or he got both of them. But let me.
Next is Death Girl.
Yeah, then you have Fu. Okay. Damn, you have Fu high. You think Fu's beating Data?
Yeah. Because I like Fu, and I have a personal bias here. Don't judge me.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I was like, wait a minute.
Also giving her full access to her Jubi transformation as well, and all of her Jinchuriki abilities.
Well, she was a perfect.
She could fly.
She could do it on. I forgot about that. I thought she was.
Yeah, and she could fly as well. So
She can make wings come out of her butt.
Oh my god.
And that's something I appreciate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Noted.
Don't shame me.
So you think she's beating Eight Tails too?
With a full transformation as a perfect Jinchuriki, while the Eight Tails is just the tailed beast? Yeah.
Why? Because there's some like statements out there, or whatever, that imply that if perfect Jinchuriki are more powerful than just without. Is that what it is?
Nope. My own personal bias.
Oh, okay.
Look, I'm going to be honest with some of these. Like, there's some of these are just on just because I feel like that's how the fight would go. I don't always have proof for them. Sometimes it's just a feeling.
Yeah, look, if it was the statements, it wouldn't make sense because they like.
What?
I mean,
Yeah. One thing
makes sense.
One thing I will say though, that you also could argue for these pains is if they do the rods on the tails and shit, or just whatever, that could fuck her over. Just saying.
Maybe, but in a one-on-one fight, I don't see them getting it.
Well, shit, fucking Tendo Pain, along with these two, not him, these two were able to fucking stab this guy's transformation, V2 and everything, and then eventually Tendo Pain did like multiple rods at all his tails and just immediately depowered him.
Yeah, but that's like you said, that's Tendo with two others.
Yeah.
Tendo himself would probably do it. The two others, if they were separated unto themselves, I don't.
Naruto War Arc. That's just base. I don't think he's beating Fu with access to everything. That's just me, but and then this Naruto in just base against C2 Sasuke. The only way you could really argue for him is narratively, but if we're really being honest, like he should just be way more powerful than base Naruto. So I would say that's fine. This Naruto loses to a lot of people down here, by the way, but I'm not going to get into that. We're just talking base.
What are you doing?
Kakashi pain arc. Okay, that's interesting. So you think Kakashi pain arc is able to beat Sasuke and everything? It's fair, like combo and everything, you know, like so that's understandable.
No, and then we have the Jinchuriki there.
Yeah.
Sasuke, Daka Sasuke.
Yeah, so one thing I'm gonna say, this Sasuke is not beating these beasts. That is not happening. Like the only way you can imply he could maybe be fine is by using his Genjutsu at CM2, you know, and then controlling them and restraining them, and then just either running away. But that's all he's gonna be able to probably do. The only thing you can really argue from. Other than that, like they'll be able to. They're just fucking his shit up. Same thing with Kakashi. Like he's not beating the Tail Beast. We saw that interaction. Fucking. You know, that's that. I do think this Pain should be able to beat him, but that's just me. He should be able to overpower him, beat his ass, and whatnot. But once again, that's just me. Yeah, we saw that fight already. If Orochimaru does his full transformation, do you think he could beat that Sasuke? Or do you think this Sasuke is just beating Orochimaru before it even gets to that point?
I don't think Orochimaru is going to be able to get to that point, but I think with the KCM2 Sage abilities, I think he'll be able to, even if he can't keep Orochimaru in a Genjutsu, I think that alone will give him an opening, which will allow him to hit him with like a powerful enough Chidori, which would paralyze him, which would allow him to get the win. I think he could pull it off more. With
the problem with Orochimaru is his fucking hacks abilities. It's his regeneration, like him just not dying, you know. Like, and so even if he is getting a lot of killing blows or whatever, he's just gonna heal and heal. Like even if he does get him a Genjutsu and fucks him up, he can just still be alive and heal. So like unless he like, you know, and we do know Orochimaru like to Itachi when this is what, like Itachi when he was like not sick and blind and way more stronger, did just a Sharingan Genjutsu, and Orochimaru was slowly but surely lifting his hands to try to release the Genjutsu, and then he just cut off his arms. But so like, I'm not saying his Genjutsu won't be crazy powerful. It would, especially in CM2. You know what I mean? And that'll give Orochimaru a hard time as well. But like, I feel like Orochimaru would be pressured to go to full transformation. And I
don't think he wins with the Genjutsu. I just think the Genjutsu gives him an opening which will allow him to win.
Yeah.
Especially since Orochimaru does still have that sickness. So if he can whittle him down enough, which I could see him being able to do since Sasuke is ridiculously powerful, then it would end up going into... As this Orochimaru more than likely would end up trying to switch places as well.
Yeah.
But that's Sasuke as well. And if that happens, I just don't see it. I think he can make the opening, which will allow him to get the win more times than not.
Even if he creates an opening, though, he'll just regenerate, though. It doesn't matter.
Well, let that opening because this Orochimaru isn't going to risk killing Sasuke.
True. You could argue, he wants, so he'd be holding back while he's trying to kill him or whatever, so that's fair, too. But Sasuke more likely is taken. I'm just saying, if he does go into his full transformation, then it gets to the point where, do you think Kirin's going to be enough to beat that? I don't think it would. Even if it does severely damage him and fuck him up, he'll just heal like he did with fucking against Itachi.
I just think his healing does, because his healing we know does take a lot of chakra. So if he does survive from Kirin, I think he'd be so heavily damaged and have to regen so much that he would just be out.
Well, not really. Not with Itachi. He lost all his heads and then he just grew them right back.
I mean, that was the headed, but but Kirin would just destroy the entire body.
Oh yeah,
it destroyed all the Itachi hideout and still hurt Itachi through his Susanoo. Like the 8-headed serpent isn't just losing a few heads. Like
that was the Uchiha hideout, not Akatsuki.
But like,
and also, when the fuck did he grow his heads back, Batman? He didn't.
I thought he
grew
did.
Back.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah.
How? I thought Itachi cut them off, and then he pierced him and sealed him.
Unless I'm capping, I could have sworn he cut all his heads off. Yeah. I could have sworn he cut all his heads off. Not all of them, whatever, but he cut the heads, and then they grew back, and then Itachi, like, then Orochimaru said, you thought, whatever, you're talking shit, and then Itachi...
No, he doesn't grow back his head.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, there's just one head that doesn't get cut off, and Orochimaru emerges from it. He starts talking shit, he gets stabbed. No. He keeps talking shit, realizes what he got stabbed with, he's like, well, shit, I guess that's game.
Well, you could still argue the fact that he could still regenerate those heads, though, because it is the white snake. The whole gig of that is regeneration and, and all this other shit and poison and whatnot. But I get your point, too. That's fine. I mean, like, obviously, if he's healing and regenerating, that would still cost chakra, so... I don't know. Either way, like, I feel like it could maybe Orochimaru could be to pull it off, but then again, it's like with everything you said, he is still... he's not fully at, his prime, and, obviously Sasuke's no joke, and see him, a Curse Mark 2, so yeah, Sasuke more than likely take it either way, so, let me see, Bubble Man will have access to his full thing, right?
Yep, all the Jinchuriki have access to all of their abilities, unless there's a version of them higher, but none of the Jinchuriki have their higher states on here, so...
Gotcha. So it's interesting. So, like, for instance, like with so it's interesting. Like with Kakashi and him, like if they were to fight and for some reason they're trying to kill each other, like Itachi, the moment he has Raikiri, that's going to be a problem for him, and he basically would just get fucked. But then the Tail Beast would come out, and then now Kakashi's having to deal with a fucking Tail Beast. And then it gets to the point where it's like...
just the Tail Beast abilities freely as well.
Yeah, his abilities are fucking cool, though, bro. Remember when you see him fighting against all the passive pains? Like, that shit was fucking cool. Like, where he turns purple, and he's, like, fucking, like... I think it, like, fucking burns, like, kind of similar to, like acid, to where it just disintegrates you, and then he's, like, he gets faster, too. Like, he gets faster... And anything he touches just disintegrates, and like he was all purple. It was so cool. But anyways, it's a very unique ability. Like, because we've never seen V2 have abilities except for him. I'm just saying. Like, and what I mean by that is like obviously with the other V2s when Obito was using them, like they did do their abilities in V2, but he did an ability with his body alone, which I thought was really unique. You know what I mean? Because all the other V2s are always the same. They're just red fucking, more fucking chakra and everything. But anyways, it's interesting because I do feel like Kakashi is gonna have to resort to Kamui, because even if he does amp his Raikiri enough to fucking cut apart, like the V2 transformation, everything and all that, it's just gonna grow back. You know what I mean? That's what happens. It grows fucking back. So like it's gonna get to the point where it's like if he doesn't do Kamui before he goes into full transformation, I don't think he's taking that. And then it comes to the question is, if Kakashi does Kamui on the V2, do you think that would work? I don't see why it wouldn't, but what do you think on that?
I think War Art, the Pain Arc one wouldn't be able to utilize it to the degree used to be a Tail Beast. It's not that it wouldn't affect him, I just don't know if he can utilize it to that degree just yet.
How about you, Loki? What do you think? Do you think he could call me V2 or no?
Ooh.
It's interesting.
The Pain Arc?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know about the Pain Arc.
One thing I will say is he was able to do Kamui against Pain's missile and his nail with a Shinra Tensei, you know what I mean, with no problem. But
but he was already had those prepped up, to be fair. So I mean, not the nail one, but I don't know.
Yeah, he for sure doesn't grow the heads. For sure.
But I don't know. If you argue that he could do Kamui against the V2, like on the head or whatever, or just overall the whole body, then GG, and then that's it. But if no, and you know what I mean, then yeah, he's fucked. He's fucked. like I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Like, and then I do know Jiraiya had like seal tags to suppress Four Tails Naruto, and we do know Kakashi also has those tags. You know what I mean? Because Jiraiya kind of gave it to him. So you could maybe argue that Jiraiya could use Kakashi could use a seal tag on him as well, like in the V2 state, and that could work. But I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, but that seal tag only worked on 2 tails.
Well, it worked on 4 tails too. Like Kakashi did it to 3 tails Naruto, I believe.
Look, if they can seal the 9 tails, they can seal the other guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'd be really weird. Like, in the 9 tails, chakra and power is way more than, obviously, these beasts and fucking... And then if Jiraiya... The only reason why I know it can work on V2 is because Jiraiya did it to V2. You know? Like, he was literally about to die. Like, he's all fucked up, and then he's like, fuck. And then he charges back, yelling with the seal tag, and then, obviously, he succeeded in sealing the V2. So, to suppress it and everything. So, like, if you do that, then Kakashi would be fine. But if you don't think Kakashi could be able to use that seal tag and beat him either, then that's it. And that's obviously Kakashi. That's obviously Kakashi with prep too. So if you take that away from him,
we actually do see that they're actually, and I can send you that clip at some point if you want. I don't feel like going to grab it just at this moment.
Yeah.
But that 9 tails that of Jiraiya seals was actually one that was being fought off by Naruto and was already kind of in the middle of being he was already in the middle of de-transforming from the 4 tails to a degree.
Okay. So he was kind of like Naruto was trying to suppress it back, and then Jiraiya basically sealed it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that V2 was not at its full capability since it was being held back a lot by Naruto, who wasn't trying to kill Jiraiya.
That's fair too. Like that whole fight, everything is very vague to me. So I'd have to review it and everything. But I'm not saying you're capping or anything. So that's fine. It's fair. But I don't know. That's the only way I see Kakashi pulling it off without Kamui. If not, then he's just dead, and that's it. GG. Whatever.
Fun fact: this is actually my main character for Storm 4 for a little bit, and I've made a lot of people rage quit with his bubble long range attacks.
Yeah. Another, you're a dickhead, and you be that one dude. Fucking another thing too, though, is if he just goes straight up in full transformation just from rage and everything, then I'm sorry, Kakashi's fucked as well. We even saw that with him and Guy when they all went to full transformation, and just from them transforming, they were being overwhelmed and fucked up, So,
this is Pain Arc.
Yeah. War Arc. So, even War Arc was shitting his pants.
yeah, he was. That was War Arc.
Yeah, so
Pain Arc is weaker.
Yeah, so.
Wait, the guy fucking left.
Who?
No, the 4th guy that was here.
Oh, well, he wasn't even really saying anything, to be honest. But, no, I'm not being mean to him or anything, but he was just quiet the whole time. He probably had to go or something. I don't know. I was basically introduced to him. I was introduced to him I think 2 days ago, where he basically sent me a DM. He commented on YouTube at first. He was like, "Hey, I just want to ask some questions, talk about some art stuff with you. Is that okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then we called, and then we talked, and then that was it. And that's how I basically was introduced to him. So, but anyways, so back on track. Same thing. My arguments will stand. Kakashi's only win con is either landing a Raikiri. Well, even if he does Raikiri. Basically, it would be either Kamui or sealing. But either way, he more likely loses and dies. Obviously, the same shit with him. Roshi's actually built different, in my opinion. This motherfucker is crazy because he has a form similar to Naruto. It's KCM. So he can just do lava style all over his fucking body, And And that mode is pretty strong, dude. Obviously, Kasame was his kryptonite because it's still chakra, so Kasame was just able to basically depower him, which is why I didn't really.
Water style.
Yeah, and water style was at a disadvantage, but Kasame beat him. But remember, Kakashi is not Kasame.
Kasame is not Kasame. Hold on.
No, I said.
I'm making that sentence.
Shut up! I said Kakashi is not Kasame.
You said Kasame is not Kasame. You might have meant to say Kakashi is not Kasame, but you said Kasame is not.
Oh, well, excuse me then. Fucking, but either way, it'd be a cool fight and everything, but that's going to be really tough for him to deal with, and it was even strong enough to injure fucking Casey on one Naruto, So, I don't know, they would fight, they would go at it, still the same, Kamui or sealing, or he just straight up loses. That's it. With Taka, Sasuke, so just with 3 Tomo, Taka, Sasuke, I'd say Peinar Kakashi could be able to pull it off if it came down to it, because he does still have Conway and Mangekyo. It'd be a good fight, though. It'd be really cool. I just think Kakashi's going to take it because of Conway. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, he's actually really underrated, because a lot of people like forget how strong Boro release is.
I blame Noodles.
Like, well, not even that. Like, even Seth like made some good points on Boro release. Like, Boro release is pretty fucking strong, you know. Like we saw
That's the technique that Naruto used to fight.
Like fucking, he does that. He builds up all his chakra, and then like he breaks out of her shit, and then he's just beating the shit out of her, bro. like it was crazy. But you know, so Boro release is no joke. I do think, this Sasuke.
Oh, by the way.
Huh?
I don't know if you know, but yeah, that Sasuke cannot use the Shishono as well.
Yeah, no, I know. You have this one above here. So, he would beat him because obviously he only has like Chidori and shit, and you know, just him and Genjutsu, and that's not really going to work with him. I do also believe all these people beat him as well.
He can dodge
him,
as high as he is. His ability to dodge beat helps him out here.
Well, yeah, he was able to fight against B and everything, but he was still getting fucked up.
Fair enough.
It would be really weird to say, like, because you could argue that, let's say, like, just base to base, right? All these people, like, Sasuke's just, you know, either shitting on him or whatever. But even if he does do that, they just whip out their, you know, their transformations, and then that's when he starts.
So you do know his Chidori attacks can hurt the tail beast, because he was able to cut off the 8-tail cinder.
Yeah, no, it can, but, you know, it would just regen, heal, that's it, you know, whatever.
Well, we also know that it can paralyze as well.
Yeah, true, but, you know, like, we're talking about tail beast here, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, I don't know, like, it's only going to go so far, but if they get pissed off enough, like, they could transform and all that. I don't see this Sasuke just with his Sharingan and all his techniques would be enough to beat them while they have access to everything. This is a little weird. He could definitely be able to beat this Naruto, unless you want to narratively scale this Naruto since it is war arc way over this Sasuke.
I do not want to do that.
But if that's not the case, then yeah, he should be able to beat him. I think CM2 Sasuke would actually beat this Sasuke. That's just my opinion. So there's that. Deidara, if he's fighting against this Sasuke, it'd obviously be very similar to when they fought, but the only difference is I think Deidara is actually beating him because he's not going to have his wing to protect him.
No, but he does have more powerful Genjutsu. And
I don't know about maybe like if you like if you're doing like the
that he didn't even know like Sasuke was behind him. And Sasuke with more powerful Genjutsu could make it so that he thinks he's flying, but he isn't.
Yeah. I don't know. Like what's really weird about the whole fucking heavy Sasuke versus Deidara fight is the craziest thing a lot of people forgot too is Sasuke was also holding back technically. He wasn't trying to kill Deidara. He was trying to get into where Itachi was the whole time. You know what I mean? And the fact that it was still a very close fight while he's holding back is pretty impressive for Sasuke. So if we're talking about like bloodlust Sasuke here, maybe you could argue just straight up fucks Deidara up. You know, or if it's kind of similar how that would be to where if for some reason it's just back and forth, and I do feel like eventually he would lose even with Genjutsu or Chidori and all that, because if he does one of his attacks and times it enough to where he's like, oh fuck, since he can't use Susanoo or CM2, he's not tanking that, you know. So, but that's just me. But anyways, fucking this Pain, I think would bully this Sasuke as well. That's just me though. Summoning Pain would also fuck him up. It's fine for these three to lose if you think that. I don't want to keep going all lower because it's all a bunch of... Yeah, that's fine.
Don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to, but... So then you have Gaara.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Gara should be able to beat him.
Don't lie to me, Loki.
Raza. Oh, you think Gara's dad's stronger than him?
There's a war at Gara that's later on.
Oh, okay. Okay. He has ceiling, right? Does he have ceiling? I can't remember. He does, right?
He has ceiling, but I don't think he beats Raza.
Okay.
There's a war arc variant which does beat Raza.
Yeah. So you don't think this one beats Raza though? Okay.
Yeah, and then obviously the third Kazakage.
Yeah,
because he stated more powerful than Sasori because he beat the third Kazakage without the third Kazakage.
Yeah.
You know, that one just ripped right out of Seth's playbook. That one was just
okay. Interesting. So you have this Sasori. Now, I'm telling you now, I don't think the Sasori is also beating all the tail beasts and all that as well. But with Sasori versus CM2 Sasuke or this Sasuke or even Kakashi, it's interesting because, like, obviously if he gets one hit, he's fucked. You know what I mean? And this one, you could argue he could be able to have it be immune to it because of Orochimaru's body and everything.
Oh, that's not head. Oh, by the way, yeah, no, there's a heavy one right above him.
So,
if you look right in front of Sasori.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. With this Sasuke, I don't know. I feel like I think that's understandable to say that Sasori more likely beats him. He just has so many fucking attacks. Yes, he has a Sharingan, but I feel like he would eventually get hit at least once, and that'll fuck him up. Kakashi, basically, it could go either way. If he lands one hit, he's dead. But in character, Kakashi does use shadow clones and substitution all the time to gauge his opponent's power and everything. So basically to the point where he would come to the conclusion that he needs to do Kamui in order to defeat Sasori.
I don't think he needs Kamui. I think realistically you can argue that he'd be able to see the chakra in his heart.
Yeah.
I think the problem is he beat jumping puppets too many times for him to for that particular
like
one.
He does have Raikiri, so that can help, and people to go through things. And I do think this Kakashi would at least beat the shell thing, that he has. But once Sasori's out, it's going to get really hard for him and tough. And if he's not whipping out Kamui, I just don't see him winning against Sasori either. Sasori's no joke, dude. Like I said, these two, it can go either way. Kamui's a winning. If not, no Kamui, then I would give it to this Sasuke. I do think this Kakashi could beat him, though. This Sasuke should be able to shit on him. That's fine. He's losing all tail beasts, though, unless he controls them again jutsu, then sure, but that's not, that's on the way. So that, if you're putting him up there because of that, then that's fine.
He can summon Manda, who could help hold them off, and then he can just take them out when they're dealing with Manda.
Gotcha. Third Kazakage versus him. That'd be interesting. I'd say yeah. If he's an Edo though, it's a problem. But if not, then it's fair. It's fine to say he could win. That's fine because even Orochimaru was able to kill the third. Well, actually, it wasn't Orochimaru. It was Sasori, right?
Yeah, he kills the third Kazakage and takes his body.
Yeah. Who did Orochimaru kill? Because he killed a Kazakage too.
No, he made his own village for them sound.
Well, no, Orochimaru assassinated the Kazakage and then took his face with Kimaru.
It might have been the fourth. It might have been the fourth one.
Okay.
It might have been Raza.
Okay. Yeah, it was Raza. That's who it was. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Kakasu, I think he's beating him. I think this one and him would also be able to beat Kakasu. That's just me, though. It'd be a cool fight. It'd be really close if they would fight whatever, but with his Genjutsu lightning style, you know what I mean? Shidori and everything. He could do it to his body, fire style, then he has Kirin. you know, and he's like crazy amped with CM2. I think he would just shit on Kakuzu, but that's just me. Sasuke with Amaterasu with the Mangekyo. That's fair, because I think Amaterasu would just fuck him up. It would fuck up a lot of these people, except for you could make an argument that these characters could be able to block it with their sand, you know. So I'm just saying, but like if he's able to time it right or utilize it and incorporate it, then yeah, they're fucked. Same thing with Sasori. Obviously, Kakuzu would get fucked from that. Yeah, Amaterasu basically bodies a lot of these people. Fucking
Amaterasu is no joke.
Yeah, it is. Kakashi. This is interesting because, like, you basically have to argue if Kakashi would be fast enough to dodge Amaterasu. You know what I mean? Like, and even if he had Raikiri with that speed enhancement, like, it's like the only characters we've seen that have actually dodged Amaterasu was people that had like fucking yellow flash speed, like the Raikage. You know, meaning that clearly either Minato or the Raikage, people with that type of teleportation speed could be able to dodge Amaterasu. So, like, you know, I don't know. Like, then it comes to the question, do you really think he's dodging Amaterasu, even with the Mangekyo out or Raikiri or whatever? Like, maybe, but, like, I think he just gets hit by it and he's dead. You know, so basically this fight comes to whoever just does Mangekyo first. You know what I mean? Whatever, but it's interesting, though, and I don't know, like, I love Kakashi and everything, but he's never really shown, like, a speed feat to where he's doing fucking teleportation feats like Minato or the Raikage, you know? So, and he definitely doesn't have Kamu in his body like Obito, so that's not going to help him. And that would obviously have to be at a distance because Amaterasu wouldn't work on Obito from a distance, but it does work on him in close range. It was fast enough to hit him before he could Kamu it. So yeah, Amaterasu is no fucking joke, dude. It's just crazy. Like with the pain, you know, like you could argue maybe this one could be able to maybe dodge it, maybe, but that's a big fucking maybe. And even if he does get hit, you could just say like he cuts off his arm, cuts all robotics, and just grow it back or just whatever, you know, to deal with it. But this pain could also use the summons to tire him out and all that. So even if he doesn't have Amaterasu was a counter for the dog, right? Yeah. So his summons are actually not even an option. So that's actually a hard counter for him. That sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, they're basically all fucked except for him. He could absorb it, you know. But then again, like, then you have this pain in him fighting and they're going, and obviously I'm more than likely going to give that to Sasuke if they have to fight. So, but okay, interesting. So you have Choji with the wings over. You think it's because of like his body being amped, like speed, power, and everything? That's why.
Yeah, I think because he is able to fight off the Geto Mazo, and I do think that makes him would give him the attack power to do massive damage to that Sasuke without the Susanoo.
Well, what about speed though?
I think he's faster.
You think he's faster still? Okay, which is fair. I'm not even gonna argue this because I don't remember everything. I know he fought against the Geto statue, and he's also very powerful. And I do know in part 1, obviously in Naruto, that pill that gave allowed him to temporarily access this ability. It was like confirmed to be like 100 times amp. You know, so it's no joke. You know what I mean? And the fact that he can now just utilize that with no negative repercussions is pretty crazy. So we know he would be fast. We know, you know, so that's fine. That's reasonable. Kasame. This will be him with Samahara, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's no joke. So,
can you imagine if Kasame took some of the chakra off of Red Pill Choji? That'd be insane.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm curious about, though. Do you think... Because I know Amaterasu is chakra, but do you think Samahara would be able to absorb that, or it wouldn't because of the heat and it just burn?
I think it depends on how much Amaterasu was put on.
Okay, because like that's interesting, you know. It's like because we know Samahara, each chakra absorbs it and gets more powerful, but like Amaterasu, yes, it is chakra, but it's fucking hot. And remember, Samahara got mad at
at Killer B when Killer B absorbed Itachi's fire style, and you know what I mean, and then it like poked him in the head, and he was like, "Oh my bad, I know it was hot," you know. But I don't know, you know what I mean? Like that might actually fuck up Samahara. Like a Madarats. It's either he absorbs it completely. Yeah, it's either he absorbs it completely or fucking Samahara just because the pain itself just says no, doesn't do hacks and just fucked. But I don't know.
I think if it's a little bit, it'll be fine. If it's a lot, then that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of quantity, not the quality at that point.
Yeah. 6-gate guy, yes, goated, that's fine. Kakasu could be able to beat Guy only if Guy thinks he's dead, though. You know what I mean? Like if it's just.
I don't think my guy's the type of person who would have. I don't think that's even going to be an option here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Do you think he just punches him over and over and over and just kills him all his hearts, basically?
Okay, so the way I see it, so one of the things is I know Diamond Orb protects him, but he still would be able to feel that internal pressure.
Yeah.
I think my guy would be able to hit him so hard that if the hearts are in him, they just be destroyed.
Yeah.
And if they're out of him, my guy's not going to stop until they're all down.
Yeah. That's interesting. So you think 6-gate you think 6-gate guy is bodying full power Kasame with Samahara?
That's right.
Okay. It's interesting that you think that. What's that? I just realized you're back. What'd you say?
Why is Kakuzu so low? Isn't he the strongest in the verse?
You know what? You are actually so fucking correct. Yeah, this man needs to be all the way above him. Multiverse.
Isn't that like the noodles guarantee?
Oh my god, absolutely. I totally forgot. All right, what I'll say about this? Because I know Loki's gonna get mad about this. Okay, fucking. Like I think Guy would need the 7th gate in order to beat a full power Kasame with Samahara. That's just me, but it's fair to think 6-gate Guy can more likely be able to do it because Guy is just crazy powerful with the gates. He just does fucking feats, visual feats, and everything that no other character has ever done.
I don't know if it was you, but I did hear an argument the other day which did explain why he went into the 7th gate to fight Kizume.
That too.
It wasn't necessarily because he was struggling to beat that one, but it's because he just needed the attack range in order to take off the giant wave.
Yeah, and to
and
make
he
sure
was
the
trying
scroll.
really hard not to kill Kizume.
Exactly, yeah, he was holding back too, but so it's fair. Like this is fair. Like it's not crazy, but I don't know. You might be having some problems with Loki.
Okay,
why? I'm here. Why?
He has 6-gate Guy beating full power Kasame Samahara. Told you. I'll let you guys talk it out. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Hang on.
Welcome back.
Hello. Is everybody here? No. What's on?
Okay, who's all here? Everyone say their name.
I'm here.
Who's I'm here?
Do you know who I am? Don't fucking irritate me.
I know a local. I don't know when I'm here.
You got Monichi in here, by the way. You be careful. He's asking you a question, Ken.
Wait, who? Are you fucking with me?
He's like, he said, why is V2 in Lokage?
Oh,
Moto, your Kikaku got whooped, his ass whooped by Darui. I don't want to hear it. Does that make Darui stronger than the 5 Kage?
that may or may not have been a motorcycle. Sorry.
All right. Let's get back to where we were though. Let's see. All right. Let's see what other.
I should stop saying stuff like that. Otherwise, people might start taking me seriously.
Okay, hold up. What the Ken? Why in God's name do you have May over Guy? I don't get me wrong. I know she fought against 5 Kage Summon Sasuke and Madara, but she doesn't scale to those two. Like, you gotta remember, Madara was holding back against the 5 Kage the whole time. Sasuke was on his fucking, literally on his deathbed, okay? What I mean by that is, like, almost blind, fucking very fatigued, had a chakra, like, and then she pulls up on him and is just fucking him up. Like, that's not even fair. Like, I'm telling you right now, if guy went into 6th gate, he is fucking that bitch up.
You talking about me?
Mono, he has the pains lower because he's not, he has them where they're all together, and then he has some of them where if they were just by themselves, basically, if that makes sense. That's his reasoning for having them lower. I don't even know if this man can hear me.
I can hear you. I just had to mute myself.
No. I'm talking about Mono. I don't know if he can hear me or not.
He's not in the chat.
Yeah, so he can't hear me.
Just send him this video and the timestamp wherever this ends up being.
Oh, actually, wait. Mono is here, right?
No,
he's not in chat.
No, it is in the chat. Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't wait for Toby Rama then.
Yeah, so I told him it's because I hate Fu. I hate everyone but Fu, and that's why everyone else is where they are. But anyway, so the reason why Mei is where she is because she should be somewhat relative to the other Kage in speed, and her acid just allows her to bypass most people's durability.
Well, like, sure, she could be relative to the Okage in speed, but she's not relative to A and V2 lightning armor. She's not relative to Tsunade with her fucking 100 seals.
No, but she should be able to avoid the Toast Blade. I can see her dodging Amaterasu. Sasuke could do that. She's not going to try and fight Itachi in a Fireball Jutsu, so his only real big win con is Tsukiyomi, which I would hope Mei's not dumb enough to look him directly in the eyes, and then she could just get through his own conditional with her acid. And this is Itachi with a sickness, not healthy Itachi. If it was healthy Itachi, it'd be a stomp, but...
Okay, so you're doing sick... Even sick Itachi would clap her.
I don't think he would last long enough. I think she could outlast him, but just barely. But that's why she's just barely above him. I know that's one I struggled with for a long while.
I don't know, bro. Fucking sick Itachi's no joke. like if it's Mei, if we're speaking about Mei, I think that fucking he would be able to